Ishtar?
Who was that?
Hello there. How's it going, everybody? Wait a minute. My webpage update. King Gil, thank you for the Prime, and Type J2MA, thank you as well. Hope you guys are doing good. We get OBS booted up over here, and we should be good to go. I have already tweeted out the go live notification, so again, you guys do me that favor. Help me out on the Twitter side of things. Okay, let me make sure everything's going good. Yep, I see both of you guys on the side of the bot. Let me make sure I got today's sauce. Yep. Yet I have fallen prey to Monster Hunter again. Seeing all the wild stuff has made me want to get back into Monster Hunter again. This time I went back to World, because apparently your save data for World will carry over to Rise. It should be good to go. Hello there, everybody. How's it going? We have a lot of stuff to talk about. I hope everybody's doing good today. There we go. It's funny because I took yesterday off. Like, I basically got right up to stream time, and I was like, you know what? I haven't really had a day off in a while, and I was like, why don't I go ahead and take today off? And then, because like I knew like they kind of shadow dropped the AnimeNYC stream announcement on us, which we kind of knew about. Like, I should have predicted that, but like when I made my schedule for the week, I didn't think about it at all. So I went like, oh, okay, like there's actually technically nothing going on today. So why don't I, just take, basically that day off, and then we'll stream Saturday as well. So that's basically what I decided to do. Which I did spend some of the time playing First Ascendant. I actually unlocked Ultimate Bunny. She is now crafting, so I gotta wait on her to finish. But otherwise, that's going pretty swimmingly. And like I said, I did see all of the Wilds news, and am pretty hyped for that. So excited to get back into that. But yeah, so we basically have AnimeNYC. Apparently it's already going on. Two of my friends are already there. So one of them actually got to meet Albert already, and has apparently won a very nice prize from the FGO localization team. So doing pretty good there, but I'm sure he'll come tell us all about that whenever he gets off. As you said, there was nothing good going on yesterday. Yeah, I mean, like, that's basically, if I can take the break, I will. I know we were planning to play Black Myth Wukong, but it is what it is. I'm gonna be real with y'all. That's probably what we'll play Saturday, because I think the FGO live stream is gonna be a little bit of a dud. We'll see. But I do know that, like, one, they've kind of already tipped their hand, and we know Guda Guda is going to be the announcement. We kind of already could figure that out based off the roadmap they give us. But add in the fact that they've also said that they're going to be doing the drama log at the I think for LB5 at the panel. So, like, yeah, I don't really know what they're doing, but if they're doing a drama log at a panel, which they, again, have limited time and they have to pay a lot for, it's not gonna be like a ton of stuff going on, right? Because that tells me that they don't have a lot to do. Otherwise, they wouldn't like dare waste that time. So I think that's kind of like a good indicator that it's probably just going to be the drama log. It's going to be the Guda Guda announcement, and they'll probably just remind everyone like, hey, Fate Stay Night, Tsukihime, all of that stuff. But we'll see. Maybe we'll get something more than that. Maybe they'll announce like a back to school campaign. But I'm not expecting a whole lot out of this actual panel. But so that's what I'm saying. Is like, basically I anticipate that for tomorrow's stream, we're gonna kind of like, I'll get live early, I'll do my FGO stuff, and then we'll watch the stream all together, because I think the stream is at like 5 p.m. my time, and then after that we'll probably just play some more Black Myth Wukong, since I'll need to progress in that. Isn't drama log the next day? It might be. But I'd have to go back and look. I remember like reading that it was going to be at the panel. So how's it going? 5 more days till JP banner 2? Yeah, I mean, JP's not got a lot going on. That's like, JP is in a stalling period of its own at this point, and that's kind of what we should expect. But all right, let's switch gears here. Let's actually get in. So here is today's artwork. Go give the artist some love. The fantastic piece. There's actually a ton of pieces in that particular Pixiv link. So even if you're not a fan of that particular piece, go check it out. You might see another character in there that you like. But yeah, so JP has finally finished its story. We now have the 90 plus. There's also the CQ out. I'll probably do that with you guys here next week. But naturally, I've got Guda Guda that I've got to like get out and get done. And basically, oh god, no, I forgot I rolled some FP out. So hold on here. I should have done this all first. All right, first of all, let's see. You know what? I know I don't need these. I know I don't. I've had access to those for so long on JP. Like, NA has those Cs now. I think I'll be fine. That's a big heart, right? Yeah, totally. It's totally BB. That plot twist at the end. I'm not sure what you're talking about because I haven't read the story, but I obviously saw a certain thing that appeared. Do you need to be so far in the main story to finish the event? So I saw people on YouTube talking about this, and this is really weird. Normally, chat, I would own up for misinforming you. You do not require Ordeal Call Prologue to do this event. The whole reason I'm not going to take the blame for this is it's the fucking devs' fault. Mr. 2 did get up there and say that. They also showed several slides indicating that. So it's really weird because the way it appears to be is that the summer event is Fuyuki locked. And then from there, if you want to do Ordeal Call 3, you have to have done the summer event and also the Ordeal Call Prologue is required to do Ordeal Call 3. So Ordeal Call 3 has 2 requirements. They made this hella confusing. Like, that's their own damn fault as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, I'm sorry for misinforming people, but yeah, no, apparently you only have to do Fuyuki to do the summer event. So it's really, really weird. I don't know why they seemingly did that because over and over and over again, they kept telling people, summer is Ordeal Call Prologue locked. No, it's not. It wasn't. They've been telling us this, by the way, for months, right? Like, they tried to warn everybody. So I understand they didn't want to tease Ordeal Call 3 being there, but it caused a lot of confusion and it basically made everybody else have egg on their face. Talking about the thing that appeared in Ordeal Call? Yeah, that's what I assume you're talking about. My friend who just started playing is doing it right now. Yeah, exactly. It's like, and that's, like I said, I have to apologize for the confusion, but I'm not going to be the one to apologize for, like, getting that wrong because that's the dev's own damn fault. God damn it, I keep forgetting. It relogged me. Okay. There we go. I love that, like, you can log in and then try to do something, and then the game's like, no, you didn't. Reboot back to title. And we undid everything you just tried to do. The people without Ordeal Call 2 finish can make 3. That's not normal. Correct. Yeah, this one is not normal. It's very weird. Actually, I say that it may still require Ordeal Call 2. That is my understanding of what the requirements are. But listen, chat, I may be wrong. I'm just going to go ahead and disclaim that. I may be entirely fucking wrong on that. Why? I don't know. The devs have not made it clear at all. The devs kept saying you can't get summer welfare if you haven't done the Ordeal Call Prologue, and people made reasonable assumptions that the summer welfare would come out of the summer event. Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't blame anybody for this being confusing other than the devs. And like I said, it's because they wanted to hide the overall structure of the event. They didn't want to tease Ordeal Call 3, but like, fuck off. That's purely their own damn fault as far as I'm concerned. Was there not a welfare during the summer event? No. Like, there is one, but as chat has already indicated, it's not until you do Ordeal Call 3. Because Ordeal Call 3 and Summer are linked together. You require Summer as an event to be complete to do Ordeal Call 3, and you require Ordeal Call 3 to be able to access the welfare. Hence all the confusion. Wait, we have to wait like 2 months? No, because we should be getting Ordeal Call 3 here relatively fast. Like, it should be quite literally next week. So, and I assume we'll be able to complete it right away. The only question will be if it's got some sort of time gating gimmick, like, Temple of Time or something like that. So if they do something where it's like, oh, hey, there's suddenly like a raid event or something and it unfolds over several days, then yeah, you won't be able to do it right away. It's in 3 parts. Oh, that's right. That's right. I did forget they did announce that it's going to be paced like that. Okay, yeah. Thank you, chat. Like I said, it's... I have such a hard time keeping this shit all straight now, chat. Like, and I want to say it's like, oh, well, maybe Cad's just forgetful. And I'm like, no, it's really not that. It's difficult to figure out their insane pacing and like why they're doing the decisions that they're doing. And it's so irregular, right? Like, so it's like my brain defaults back to whatever is regular. Like, oh yeah, we'll get the story, we'll be done. And then it's like, oh no, wait, no, they did say it's going to be in parts. So, kind of wanted a fun thing to do before the story picked back up later on. Yep. I wonder if we're going to get new units for Ordeal Call 3 or if it's just our summer units. We don't know. That is something that a lot of people have been asking is like, will there be a quote banner 3? And I told Chad, I'm like, I don't think you're going to get a banner 3, aka summer, but I do think you might see an Ordeal Call banner. I do believe that'll probably be the case. But we'll just have to see, right? Like, it'll definitely depend on how the devs want to handle this. Yeah, by the way, chat, with the prior anniversary here, we managed to now have up to 1,000 slots in our inventory. He's definitely nice. I am the storm that is approaching. The Nasu special, the 3-part whammy. Yeah, I mean, Trubs has said this numerous times, and I definitely agree with him. It's like, if FGO has any problems with like employee retention and hiring new people, even if you take, or like even if you include the monetary side of it, I do think there's probably the issue still on top of like everything else, of the fact that Nasu suddenly goes like, oops, tee hee, I rewrote the whole thing and it's now triple in size. Please adjust. Like, I think that is a problem that they're probably having. Nasu just kind of does what Nasu wants to do. And so as a result, you just go, fuck. Hello, Shadow. How's it going? My marriage is 11 years now? Ooh, what's that login streak like? I thought all events lasted longer than the average marriage. True. Considering how much the devs like money, I'd say there'd be a third banner. Yeah, I mean, and I don't think it's crazy to like say that either, right? The devs are gonna need to have banners to run over the next couple months, so it makes sense to me that they would throw in a new unit, but we'll see, right? Like, maybe they're just already existing units and they just keep rerunning those banners. Maybe that's why you haven't had an Arcuid banner all this time. I think there could be an Ordeal Call 3 banner, but an Ascension has a swimsuit. I mean, I know a lot of people have theorized about how Passionlip's going to work, right? So, like, that's an easy example. And yeah, like, so for reference, chat, and I'm not going to try to like spoil the event for you or anything, but if for any of you that haven't seen, Passionlip obviously is not one of the released summer units, but Passionlip has a swimsuit during the event. So it's definitely an interesting thing. And a lot of people are wondering, will we get a new Passionlip? Or is it going to end up being like some sort of costume? And, you know, there's always the third alternative, which is that you get nothing. But I think most people are hoping that that's not the case. I've been married too long. No, no, no. You've never been married too long. At that point, it's divorce, right? I love the new summer Ishtar upgrade. Yep, we're going to talk about that here in a minute. I'm just trying to get my AP down here real fast. So BB is BB, right? Sure. Yeah. Whatever you want to tell yourself. Yeah, definitely. She can be the welfare. It might be, right? Like that. It might be that we're all sitting here going like, huh? Why was there no Passionlip? And then Passionlip is the welfare. Which, look, I'm going to say this too. If y'all will remember earlier in the year, Nasu said that Takeuchi prevented him from making Passionlip. Do you believe him now, chat? Do you believe Nasu? Do you think that Nasu doesn't lie? The fact that she even has a swimsuit during the conversations of the event means that Nasu lied. Hello, Mr. Two Love Trouble. Thank you for the raid. Welcome, everybody. Nasu lie impossible? Yeah, exactly. You guys came in at just the right time. We were just telling people that that, you know, like Nasu's prior comment about like, oh, Takeuchi prevented me from giving Passionlip a swimsuit. It's like, even if she doesn't actually get one, it's pretty clear that they did the art for it. So Nasu's a liar again. You might have been telling the truth, and then Wada Arco said, not so fast, my friend. No, I mean, I guarantee it, right? Like, by the time that interview happened, it was already a thing. They don't just shit these things out of nowhere. They're usually, you know, months, if not years of planning. He is the biggest Pinocchio. Yeah, exactly. And it's really funny because I always point this out to kind of bring people back down to earth so that people don't go crazy with Nasu. Because you see a lot of people and they just like they hook, line, and sinker believe every single thing that he says, and you're like, come on, guys. you know what he's gonna do. He's done it before. He's gonna do it again. What C are you using to do this damage? So part of it is just I have a normal black grail, right? I don't even have an MLB. But the issue at play here is that this particular node has this little icon. And what this node is actually a 90 not plus plus. It's a 90 star node. Yeah, you heard me right. It's a special node. And basically what this icon does, it means that any saber like this now does 5 times damage whenever this icon is here. So basically it's true class effectiveness. It's super class effectiveness. And so that's why the damage goes so bonkers. He could have been referring to that Summer, so, you know, technically correct. I mean, no, I'm not giving him a pass for that, right? Like it is, quote, the summer welfare, if it ends up being the welfare. So it's like, nah, he don't get the pass for that. The only way he would get a pass is if it's like, yes, Passionlip in fact does not get a swimsuit here at all. They'll never update Bunny Toria, no cap. Yeah, God, I hope he says that. At that point, I'll be celebrating. I'll be like, ah, oh, finally. So damage go burr, exactly. Kind of strange for me to see you as a VTuber. I'm just frustrated at the lack of Guda 7 event guides and analysis on the tube. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, a lot of people, I think, are slacking for obvious reasons. Like, I'm going to be real with you, and this is going to sound pretty awful, but I think a lot of people are now in the post-summer, post-summer, post-anniversary phase where a lot of content creators check out. And you'll see them back for like New Year's. I shit you not. So like that'll be a thing, right? But no, I mean the other thing here too is even though we have the AnimeNYC panel coming up, we know that the event is not until early September. So yeah, there's no guides out yet, but probably over the next week here, everybody's gonna get their guide out. So I'm gonna record ours tonight. It'll probably be posted on Monday, and that'll be that, right? Like, but that's why I think a lot of content creators haven't done it yet. They know it's still not due yet, even though the announcement's gonna come. And don't worry, it's still me. Even though I am now a moving, walking, talking anime girl, I mean boy, there's no difference. I think this BB is a pretender, not a moon cancer. I mean, we want to take it literally, yes. You got my message good? Wait, what message? Huh? Do. Oh, damn it. That Castoria is not up to snuff. Okay, let's try popping that here. Oh, this is ugly cards. We're gonna do that. Is that slip of the tongue a spoiler? What? The fact that I purposely said girl before I said boy? No. No, I was just doing that for comedic effect. I want Kondo because of Gintama. Yes! Yes! Oh man, I miss Gintama. I need to go back and like finish off the episodes that I hadn't watched. Da-da-da. Okay, so this is going to be interesting. I'm going to stagger the cards here because normally I have the double Castoria NP. It should still kill, but I'm at least a little bit worried about this. When is the BB Dubai banner? In like 5 days. We only got the first banner, and the second banner is not until 2 weeks in. So I do think, again, same deal. Like, you're going to see everybody come back next week, like anybody that's like on hiatus right now, because they're just playing the FGO content cycle. It is what it is, right? Like, this is kind of what I've said before. FGO, especially now as a game, is very difficult to make content for because it's very set in its ways for the most part. And so you're either you know exactly when everything's going to happen, or you don't, and there's no way you could have. For instance, in A, we know the pace. We know what's going to happen. JP right now, nobody predicted this summer coming out and behaving like this, right? So it's one of those deals where it's like, yeah, did anyone anticipate this being the case? Nope. So like it's very rough because it's not like maybe with other games where the content creators have a good relationship with the development staff and we maybe get stuff like ahead of time to cover things for you guys. Instead, it's like, oh, did a new unit come out? Okay, let me drop everything to try and cover it, which kind of leaves everybody scrambling. Feels so perfect to do the 90 plus quest. That's what everyone's told me. I've been lazy. But what do you mean, Cat? Oh, you're gonna see, diligent chatter. You're gonna see. You're gonna see what I've been lazy means. I've been lazy. I have only used Buntoria this entire time. I want a banana? I mean, listen. Go down to the grocery store, get yourself a banana. Or if you're lucky enough to like live in Jamaica, go, pick one right off the tree. Because I have good news. Is the news what you already told us? Or is there more good news? What do you mean pick off the tree? See, I love that, like, I said something about Jamaica and we summoned Ash. It's quite literally like a catalyst at this point. Hey, stream doesn't know? Okay, so it is exactly what I thought. No, I mean, feel free. Go ahead and tell them. So chat, Ash was at AnimeNYC earlier today. He was the one that I was speaking of. Now the word banana was uttered and Ash arrived. I mean, I agree with you. I think that's what it was. I got a signed Mash Kyrie Light figurine from Alberry. From Alberry? No way. Not Alberry, sir. That's what you said. It's your words, not mine. All right, now chat. How many Buster cards do you think it takes to kill a 500k snake? Zero. If you said 1, you were correct. Bonk. Why is AnimeNYC in August? Apparently they moved it up this year. I guess it like used to be in November, but I don't know, people be wildin'. You know what I actually want to see? I have two Buster cards here, so let's see if I can actually card this sucker out. Oh my god, it only took the 1 still. Holy shit. Oh, that's too strong. Feels good, man. Feels good. Who needs seal? Bunny be broken? Listen, I have said this before, right? Like, my biggest annoyance and why I want the bunny buff more than anything is because I'm sick and tired of everybody treating her like she's trash. She's not, but I will agree she does require a heavy level of investment to get her to the point where she's usable like this. Now, does that mean you have to grail her? No. But it does mean you do need to foe her. It does mean you need to level her up, max out her skills. And even then, if you only have the level like 90 NP1 version, you're going to have some points where she does struggle. But definitely having at least like an NP2 is going to help out a ton. Having, gold foes on her or grails, either of those are really going to help the carding. Throwing on things like command codes can also help out. So there are ways to kind of handle all of this. Is that the bonus C, though? It is the bonus C. She'd probably still be capable of at least doing the second wave without the damage C. Third wave, I don't know that I could card it like that, right? Third wave would definitely be a lot more difficult. And to be fair, it's entirely possible that I don't get the cards that I need. But capture card. El Gato. But you can see, like, part of what's going on here is, so this is my second card shuffle, right? So, there you go. I got the Buster cards again. But, kind of what's going on here, chat, is I basically just have so much crit damage, it's ridiculous. So, like, I'm getting, like, 100% extra crit damage here. So now with her new buff, like I said, it's not that it doesn't help. It's not that it's not a good buff. It's just not the buff that she actually needed. So at that point, like, yeah, she's even stronger for this. Like, critting stuff down, easy. La criatura. Whee! Okay, so we actually didn't end up with bunny cards here. But since we didn't end up with bunny cards, we NP. And see, that's the other cool part about this if you end up with the right cards at the right time, it works and you don't care and you just do it. But if you don't, you still have the backup NP. Like, there you go, chat. That's a bunny NP with damage bonus and a bonus C doing 2 million damage. And she needs an NP improvement. So part of the reason I'm going to tell you guys that is because I want you guys to also realize that, like, what makes the 90++ nodes hard a lot of the time is when you don't have those damage bonuses. Summer events, their 90++ are never hard because you not only have a damage C most of the time, but you also have damage bonus units. And if you combine those two effects, yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter how much health they make it, you're going to shit on it. Like, it is truly that easy. Teapots are gone in 7 days. Yeah, I need to, like, start using them. I need to turn them on. Buster card equal dynamite. Yes. You guys can see what I was doing on NA. I was making blapples. I do 2.8 million with NP2 Kukulkan. Yep. I'm not surprised. Kukulkan busted. So it's like, and it's one of those things where I gotta be real with y'all. They made it berserkers. Oh, that's so nice, because that just means you can use whatever the hell you want, right? If they had done like a different class, that would have been a problem. But the fact that they did just berserkers, easy. It's not like the one we just had on an A where it was Lancers, so you had to use a saber. Okay. I've realized that I'm so used to the cycle for FGO content that when another gacha game has a similar situation, I just shrug because I'm so used to it. So, like, what do you mean? Like what? Like dead content, or you mean like gacha issues or something? Easy for everyone but Space Airish. True. Yep, dead weeks. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'll say it once, I'll say it again. Having dead weeks in a gacha game or a live service game is not a bad thing, because it's nice to have some time off. The problem is when there's too many, right? Then you start to go like, listen, do something, right? Like you're a live service game, do something. I'm poking you with the stick, do something. I really wanted a 90++ to be all extra classes for Space Airish. That would have been nice, but then it would have screwed everybody that didn't roll Space Airish. Holy hell. Oh my god. Zelfer, did you post a gibble? Did you post a gibble in my timeline? You based person, you. I love me some Gibble. Gibble is arguably the best Pokemon in the world. And the reason I say arguably is because I know y'all will argue with me. Space Airish can clear the 90++ node no problem because she has like 150% extra damage. True. Yeah. I mean, like, to her, it's just neutral, so it's not like it would be impossible by any stretch of the imagination, especially if you had a robust one. Small land shark, exactly. You have to flirt with her so much to do enough damage. Listen, I think you underestimate you underestimate the average Rin simp, okay? The least insane Rin simp. Cat is so wrong. There it is. I was waiting on it. I knew someone wasn't gonna let that go. There's too many Pokemon fans. And that's half the reason I say it. It's bait. It's bait to get everybody to be like, well, actually, my favorite Pokemon's the best. Dale Gibble is a turtle. Yes, there you go. Engagement bait 5-head. Yeah, the sad part is I think I've done it too much because only one of you responded. Well, I think several of you are on to me, or you're hiding your Vaporeon fetish. One or the other. My favorite Pokemon is Agumon the Great. Oh, yeah, that's true. I did forget about Ange Woman as well. She's a great Pokemon. Pokemon monsters, Pokemon are the champions. Small jackal greater than land shark, SMH. Why would you bring out those people? Listen, it's just fun. Out of curiosity, is Sinoriki's next banner after her initial one next year's Guda Guda? I don't know. I'd have to look at that. It's probably something I'll look at when we actually do the review of her. But it's definitely like something I don't know off the top of my head. And to be fair, chat, part of the reason I don't at this point is because it's just kind of difficult to know. Gibbleman as a Mega Man character, go for it. But yeah, like there's so many banners now with the way JP's been running things that like it's difficult for me to just know when the next banner for something is off the top of my head. At that point, I really do just use the wiki or use like the I think it's exclamation point banners or banner or something like that command on the channel here where we have the like imager album of all of them. Pokemon Time to Duel? Yes. Mon and Pokemon is already short for monsters, so Pokemon Monsters is redundant. I I don't get it. A better lyric is Pocketball Monsters? Yeah, yeah, Pocket Monsters. Kind of like that oh, yeah, so my favorite Pocket Monster is the Bad Dragon. She was on my list, but Ark took all my anniversary, so I just wanted to check. I have one of those pocket monsters. Yeah, exactly. A toy line before Pokemon existed. Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of where that stuff comes from is like the capsule gotchas and stuff like that, right? So I'm not surprised. Poketo Monster. Wait, wouldn't it be Monsuta? I like that one with the boxing gloves that's really fast. Why would you curse me with this knowledge? Listen, chat. I've had to listen to Pokemon nerds for years. It's just my like dad joke way of getting revenge. Digimon, gotta catch 'em all. It's you and me now. Oh wait, hold on. It's you and Mel? Yeah, it should be it's you and me. No, it's my destiny. Digimon. Oh, you're my best friend. World we must have. I can't do it. I can't do it in the Pokemon like sound for some reason. It's like not in my head. Shall ahead, we gotta catch them all. What? In a world we must defend. Digimon. It's a weird cadence there. It is, and it's so part of the reason for that is probably because if I had to guess, they changed it from the Japanese, and so they had to like speed up suddenly with how they're saying it, but maybe not. Right now, self inserts and anything involving a war with or in Pokemon seems popular right now. Oh, I see. Yeah, I thought the most popular Pokemon thing right now was guns. The Japanese song is completely different. Yeah, while I was saying that, I was like wondering, is like, wait, don't they have like completely different versions? But I was like, I actually don't know, so we'll see. I'm sure someone on chat will tell me if I'm wrong. Sure enough, I'm wrong. At least Digimon got hot waifu. I mean, I feel like Pokemon has hot women. I don't know that they're, Pokemon, right? But it certainly has, like, the hot women alongside. The Arabic versions and see how cringe it is. Listen, yeah, I mean, I've heard, like, German versions to songs and stuff like that. It's like, at this point, I just assume that you either come up with your own and it's okay, or you try to mimic the original version in your language and it sounds terrifying. Cynthia, exactly. Chat knows me. AK, thank you for the 37. Always keep my pocket monster on me. Good. It's the only way you can be prepared to duel someone. You guys just like, when you lock eyes, do you just whip it out? Like, immediately go like, like bad dragon, I choose you. Don't wake up those nerds like that like Gardevoir. I mean, listen. Sir, this is a Wendy's. Oh, I hope people don't just whip it out into Wendy's. You win, you get the loser's JO crystal. I see. That art is adorable. It is. It's totally not germane to anything we are currently discussing. I always whip out my pocket monster. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, everybody knows when you lock eyes, you have to duel. The arcana is the means by which all is revealed. Have you guys ever locked eyes and just whipped it out? Yeah, exactly. Perfect quote. Totally not taken out of context. I mean, in this case, it's actually not, because I'm totally going for that. Never played a Pokemon game? So it's really funny, right? Like, because I'm not somebody that's, like, super into Pokemon. I'm not your average nerd. But, like, I don't know. Like, when Pokemon was, like, first getting over here in the West, like, before it, like, had a TV show and all that shit, and it was just the trading card game. Yeah, I mean, like I remember it was like grade school, and we were like, I basically got involved with a kid that was like selling them to people. And so for a while there, I had some of my own Pokemon cards, but like I ended up just like selling mine off and getting out of it. And like I equal parts go like, oh, that was the best decision I ever made, because it saved me from a huge like money sink, right? But simultaneously also like maybe one of the worst decisions, because if I still had those cards, they'd probably be worth something. So I don't know, right? Like, is that the fabled dessert caliber? Well, it's watermelon. Chad, is watermelon a dessert or like a side? Or the whole dish. I don't know. Those cards would be expensive AF? Probably. Like I said, I remember I had Charizard back in the day. Don't worry, Cat Hololive just released its own card game, so that's the next money sink for me. I honestly, I am surprised it took like Hololive that long to cash in on that. That's like, if I were Hololive and I had such a popular IP, that would have been one of the first things I did. I'd have been like, hey, play our trading card game. Because trading card games are absolutely a money maker and a money sink. Like, all you got to do to make more money, keep printing cards, baby. It's a matter of perspective and timing. Yeah, I do agree. It really matters when you whip it out. I will bust that watermelon. My time has finally come. I see. You were appropriately named for this conversation. Multiple Y Schwartz sets? Wait, Pokemon? Or you talking about the you're talking about Hololive. I was like, huh? Hold on. But yeah, that like I'm talking like why they didn't do their own, right? Like rather than like, oh hey, we went into this gotcha game or we became part of this TCG, like no, like not a collab, like why they didn't try to literally take over the industry. Maybe they were waiting to get 150 plus members to make good decks. Yeah, how many members does Hololive have at this point? It took them long because they didn't have the America office yet? Well, I mean, like, let's be honest. You don't need the America office necessarily to do that, right? Okay, chat. Let's talk. Well, I'll leave that open. This isn't going to be a full servant analysis or anything like that. But we will talk about the Ishtar buff. Where? Oh my god. Do they not have it on the side? Am I going to have to physically go find... Okay, there it is. Yeah, so they just retired the old strengthenings from Anniversary. I think they're just slower on expanding. To be fair, that's a good thing to a degree. It's better to move cautiously and slowly when you have a big, profitable IP. Reason being, that way you don't step in it and blow it up. Case in point, Niji Sanji. Okay. Wait. Was it an MP interlude or no? No, yeah. Hold on. Because you got the charge. Yeah, so here it is. It's on the third skill. Because I was sitting here and I was like, hold on. This is freaking weird. I don't remember which skill actually got the buff. As you guys can tell, I didn't look at it very much today. Let me go check my notes. Okay. So, obviously, Writer Ishtar has been a unit that for a long time has kind of like fallen by the wayside to a large degree. She was sort of left out of the Evocation Festival, which at that point, like, actually, she's not even in the Evocation Festival yet, is she? She is? Did they finally put her in now? Aha, yep, there you go. She was literally in the last part. So, yeah, I was gonna say, it's like, man, she had gotten screwed out of it before, and that was definitely a concern. So yeah, so now she's finally in, and she's always kind of been one of those units that, like, she's never been bad. Even from when she first came out, like, she was kind of like with Santa Ultra when she first came out. Like, yeah, you had units out there like Iskandar, but you didn't really need the Iskandars of the world because you had welfares like Rider Ishtar that just you automatically got MP5 of, and they dealt good damage. The issue for Rider Ishtar is she was an AoE quick unit, and prior to Scotty, have fun with that, right? At least though Scotty ends up coming out and coming around, the problem is even with Scotty alone, you couldn't really loop with her still. You basically required, if I remember correctly, like both double Scotty and like maybe like Waver or Nero Bride or something like that. And essentially a 3-3x caster node. It was the only thing she was going to loop against was specifically casters. If it was any other class, she would not have the correct refund. So that had always been an issue for her. Obviously, then boom, Oberon ends up coming around, things get a little bit better, and naturally we have things like the append system that can also help out. But her being a welfare and her not being part of the evocation meant that a lot of people just didn't have the coins for her. So she was definitely in a weird spot for that. But again, earlier this year, you guys see she gets added to the Evocation Festival. Now you can add in the, you know, the coins for your mana loading append. Can definitely help you out there. But to be honest, you probably don't need it unless you're going into some really tight circumstances. Either way, you guys can see she already had the third skill here. And the third skill was just, it's good, but a lot of it was one turn durations. And basically you had this nasty stun demerit, right? So definitely a thing there that was concerning. She did have a plethora of crit damage in her kit, at least, since I believe she has it on the second skill as well. Yep, there you go. Another 50% right there. And honestly, this is still pretty insane for what this skill is. 50% crit damage up and an evasion for just a single attack, but it's only on a 4-turn cooldown, so you get back to this relatively fast. So it does make her at least pretty tanky, especially in combination with the invuln effect right here on the third skill. The issue obviously then was, okay, but it stuns itself. So now she ends up getting the upgrade, and the demerit is just gone, and that's absolutely fantastic. They don't really end up touching any of the single turn durations other than the NP gen rate now is 3 turns. And again, you guys can see it did not really increase at all in terms of its amount. It just ends up staying the same. So you just have it now for all 3 turns. Add in the fact that she now has a 30% charge on the third skill here as well, in addition to all the other effects. And this skill really has no downside now. Now it's a skill that you absolutely want to lure. It's a skill that you absolutely want to use on her. Again, she is a quick-centric unit, so you're not going to be basically utilizing her with somebody like Koyanskaya. So don't be expecting to get back to this. But it definitely is nice that she does have it, and at least having the 3 turns of NP Gen means that you can basically just kind of start her off with this. So in that regard, we do have a potential charging scenario for her. You guys can see you're going to basically end up starting her out at basically with her third skill pop. That's going to then be combined with one of the Summer Scotties. You're going to rotate that one for the Oberon, bring him in, have him do the remaining 20%, and then boom, you're at 100% there for turn 1. Fire off the NP, because again, you should have double Scotty quick buffs and the second skill there from Summer Scotty. And then boom, she's going to actually refund 52% right on the dot. Now, again, this is basically going to be triple casters, so it's definitely something you need to consider, but it is what it is. And then add in, again, a 50% charge there from the other Scotty. Boom, you're at 100% again. Fire off the NP one more time, and then basically you refund the same amount and then finish it off with the Oberon skills. So it's a relatively easy loop. It does work from 0, so that's nice. And again, you'll notice that this didn't require the append. But keep in mind, this is casters, and casters give you the best possible refund for this sort of thing. So really what this did is this did help alleviate a lot of that. It did help you kind of work her from 0 much, much easier. I believe she could do it now that Oberon was a thing, but it was really spicy, and I think it even required double Oberon to work before that point. So definitely nice to have that. With that in mind, talking about our actual refund numbers, again, this doesn't really change, but now it is consistent. So if you guys remember, the NP gen rate was only 1 turn before, now it's 3. So now you get this refund across all the turns rather than 1. And basically, Avalon plotted it out for me against Rider enemies instead of casters, but the Rider enemies would basically end up getting you essentially at only 2 out of 12 overkill hits, because again, remember, she does have a 4-hit quick MP, which is not a lot, right? But having all the NP gen that she has here, and having all the quick up buffs with the double Summer Scotty, at 2 out of 12 overkill hits. So again, we're not even looking at an overkill hit on each enemy, right? This is just 2 of the 3 Rider enemies that you'd be facing. That's going to basically get you to that 50% breakpoint. So that's pretty good. This does mean in a neutral environment, she's going to be capable of doing that. Okay, it is casters. Thank you, Avalon. So again, this is actually against casters, not against Riders. So it's not a neutral standpoint. So this is sort of her best case scenario then. That definitely changes how I talk about this. So basically, yeah. 2 out of 12 against against casters. So that's going to end up being again, her actual class effectiveness there. It's going to sink lower, okay? And the reason why I'm telling you that is because remember, again, Riders' natural prey is going to be casters. So if you're not going up against casters, be very careful of her refund. It's not that she won't be able to do it, it's that you're probably going to want things like that mana loading append. You might even want a starting charge CE at that point, depending on what she's going up against, just because you're not going to get the same refund numbers. So with that in mind, again, she can get all the way up to technically 70% at 12 out of 12 against casters with double Summer Scotty, but that's not really worth trying to go for. You're just going to want to hit that 50% breakpoint, and she hits it relatively easy. The bigger question would be, how do you handle it if it's not 3 enemy waves? And I'm going to tell you that charge skill does help, but it's again going to be that same sort of consideration that we talked about. Try to utilize her with a 50% C. That's going to be your best case scenario. In terms of actual damage for her, basically we have the new and old numbers here. So old numbers basically are at the bottom. And as you guys can see, this is basically how she used to be. Her best thing was a level 100 HNS, double Summer Scotty with Nero Bride, and a level 10 plug suit. Boom, damage numbers, not super solid. Now it's double Summer Scotty with Oberon and a Black Grail. Boom, just that combination, that synergy of Oberon and Black Grail, really a much more improved number. So they have more than doubled her damage in that regard. Not necessarily on the first 2 waves, but for the 3rd wave, damage just really spikes because of that. And again, you guys can see the pure difference that something like that is going to make. She can also farm 3/3x Berserkers and 2/2x casters with triple Scotty, but that's going to depend on the overkill hits. For Berserkers, it's 8 out of 12 overkill hits, and for casters, it would be 6 out of 8 overkill hits. If we assume a worst case scenario, so facing 2 times man caster, basically Summer Ishtar having no craft essence and a low roll, then enemies below 44,000 HP will work. But basically above that point, it would not. Same HP threshold applies to the 3/3x Berserker node. If you equip a level 100 Black Grail, then it's going to be 97,000 HP or below. And for normal free quests, it'll be fine. But for 90 plus, we're not so sure. So obviously keep that in mind. And again, here is your charge scenario against 2 out of 2 casters. So at that point, you are going to want the append. It's going to, like I said before, kind of make that more doable. You're going to combine that up for the 50% charge right there out of the get-go. Then go ahead and utilize one of the Summer Scotty charge skills. Kind of rotate her for the normal Scotty on your backline. Now you get triple Scotty buffs. And then fire off the NP. She's going to refund 50% against just the 2 enemies. But again, remember, they are casters, so you're getting a best case scenario on refund. Basically, do another charge skill here, fire off the NP again, same result, and then do another charge skill. Probably with the Scotty defense down coming in the final wave to help out your damage numbers. But do keep in mind that you can pull in the defense down in an earlier wave to try to kind of abuse the extra potential overkill there, though it's not necessarily going to make a huge difference against only 2 enemies. So that is just something to keep in mind. But yeah, that is writer Ishtar's buff in a nutshell. She's now a more capable Black Grail looper. Still going to struggle in some cases, but I mean, it kind of is what it is at this point. At least she looks great, yeah. Honestly, the worst part about Summer Ishtar is she has one of the longest NPs in the game. I think the only person that has a longer NP than her, if memory serves, is Kiara, but I may be incorrect about that now. That's how it used to be. I haven't checked the NP durations in a while. Oh yes, and this is also it's also the same charge scenario that you would use against 3 times Berserkers. So again, you're probably going to want the mana loading, just not as required. I spent yesterday getting a TLDR on water margin. Wait, water margin? Random sharks in her final ascension? Well, yeah, naturally, right? How's it going, CZ? What you up to today? Enjoying your weekend already, I assume. Let's see. Okay, yeah, sorry. So we got to do the Guda Guda analysis. Yamatai Koku. Okay, chat, you are here. I don't think we've had our 2600 days celebration, because this always happens like, oh wait, no, I think we've already had it, because I think we're like a couple days ahead of JP in that regard. I think we're like a month ahead of JP. Yeah. Okay, so this already happened, so we don't have it. So we're basically heading into this. And actually, Avalon or somebody, one of the mods, does one of you guys have the slide that showed the like, hey, yeah, this is coming early September? Yeah, hold on, let me refresh my head here so I don't stick my foot in my mouth. Yep. Shame that split stat. That's not bad. That's actually really nice. Not bad either. Not good. Okay. Not like Summer Mabe could have used the upgrade or anything. Oh, that's true. Yeah, we didn't get the Summer Mabe upgrade because we got Ryder Ishtar. I mean, I'm not going to say that Ryder Ishtar didn't need an upgrade, but yeah, I definitely am surprised that they didn't touch Mabe at that point. But you see, chat, this is sort of what happens whenever we get like stuck on there being a trend and they end up doing a bunch of crap. Thank you, Avalon. That was exactly what I was looking for. Because I need to like PSA this right at the very beginning. Okay. Speaking of which, Avalon, how's just because we are getting to that time. Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk about this, aren't I? Wait. Oh, this was like banner 2 for the event. Tamlin Cup is a lotto, right? Yeah, it's our next lotto. Since we had one earlier in the year, we didn't get one until November. Wait. Wait, it's Eliza this year? Wait, who's... Right. Yeah, okay. Okay. Oh my god, my brain. Has it really been 2 years with Eliza? Holy shit. Holy shit, I did not anticipate that. Chat, we already got this, didn't we? The basically the melty blood thing. I got an Arturia in that banner. Yeah. It's our deal call lock boy. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. The fuckiness with how they've been like treating stuff ordeal call wise, right? Rick, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Here, I'm just putting that on so that it'll be a little bit of background music. Okay. La 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 la. Then we have the event bonus, event cards. Oh yeah, the ailment remover. That's nice. Ooh, my Okitan. My Okitan finally getting the buff to her first skill to add the sky attribute. Wait. Was it not already 3 turns for him? Oh my god, just show it to me. Oh, it was 3 attacks, 3 turns. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that was such a stupid thing. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I had to go look at that because I could not remember. Okay, and then we have the shop, blah 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 blah. Okay. Yep. Yep. All right. All right. Let us begin. Make sure I'm good there. All right. Hey guys, my name's Khadroth, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the new upcoming Guda Guda event here this September. So again, before we talk to you guys about the event, let's kind of give you guys a bit of a PSA here. So I'm recording this prior to the AnimeNYC panel. It probably won't be posted until after the AnimeNYC panel. So do take this with a grain of salt, as some of this is conjecture, but we may get some actual hard announcements with regards to dates on things. Right now, NA is currently basically right here, where we have Advanced Quest Part 8 and the Road to 7 Lost Belt number 4 campaign. We've already had our 2600 day anniversary, so Guda Guda Shin Yamatai Koku is basically going to be our next event. You guys can see it happened about mid-September for JP, but the devs have kind of put us on notice, basically with the slide that they handed out earlier in the year, telling us that we do have a little bit of a roadmap going forward. So you guys know this is projected to come out early September, so we're probably about to get an announcement for it at AnimeNYC, and it's probably going to come out, you know, again in like the first couple of days there of September. So you probably have at least like a week from the time of me recording this video, but probably by the time it's posted, I don't know, maybe 5-6 days, something like that. We do have the Halloween event coming in mid-October, and then we also have in early November the Chaldea Tamlin Cup, aka Morgan Fest. So this is going to be your next lotto here. This is going to be one that a lot of people are going to want to pay attention to. And then understand too that part of the reason that they told us about these is because they're not actually giving us true roadmaps. What they're actually doing whenever they show us these slides is they're warning us that there is requirements for what you can and can't do basically in the event and what you're going to require in order to be able to play it. So they're telling you right here, if you want to do the new Guda Guda event, you got a couple days here. Make sure you've cleared basically Lost Belt 4. That should allow you to participate in the overall event. And then Halloween's going to require Lost Belt 5 Olympus. And then essentially the actual lotto is going to finally be our first event requiring Lost Belt 6 completion. So do understand there is a little bit of a impetus to get your story done and handled. So this is just your fair warning ahead of me going over the event. It's also worth noting that essentially JP had a Killmoth banner during this time. It actually was sort of an addendum banner to the Guda Guda event. We don't have something like Killmoth, so expect that the devs are going to still run this banner, but they may convert it into something else. It may be announced right here at AnimeNYC. It may be something like a back to school campaign. We've seen them do this numerous times before, so just understand that this banner basically includes a bunch of the old Guda Guda events. They each have rotational rate ups. Expect this to kind of be the same thing as it is on NA, because again, it's going to be due to this basically having pity is why the banners are shaped and timed the way that they are. Essentially, they're just kind of giving you the normal rundown right here on the wiki, telling you that everything has basically a separate pity, so you can't really like sit there and try to like accumulate it across any of them. And it will have the same craft essences that the Guda Guda normal banner does in fact have. So again, nothing like too crazy about this, nothing too much to write home about. Just expect that they might, you know, rebrand this if nothing else. So from there, let's go ahead and let's talk about Guda Guda. So Shin Yamatai Koku is sort of a continuation from what's her face is Himiko's Guda Guda basically. And you guys can see again, it does require that you have completed Yuga Kestra, aka Lost Belt 4. It's going to be another 3-week event, as you guys can see here from the time duration of how long it lasted on JP. So expect it to kind of last until late September on NA, since we know it's going to be starting in early September. From there, we'll probably have a little bit of dead time, some campaigns in between. Again, as you guys can see, basically we can expect another Road to 7 campaign there. And then naturally, we're going to end up with more advanced quests, the second Road to 7 campaign for LB5, and then basically right into our Halloween event. But now kind of back here at the Guda Guda event, this is a very interesting event because it's going to remind you at least a little bit of some of our prior events that have been lucrative farm events. This is very similar to things like Summer 5. Not quite as good in that regard, but definitely a really nice thing to have. As you guys can see, it does have a sort of mini lotto mechanic in here. That is to say, you can farm as much as you want, and there is no limit to what you can get out of it in terms of resources. So essentially, you're going to acquire the welfare EO from this event. She is going to be a ruler AoE 4-star arts unit, and she is going to be very solid. She'll actually be a fantastic solution for the 90++ node in this event, so I do recommend leveling her up because, again, she's going to get the standard 2x success rate as she normally does. But basically, the overall flow of the event is going to be as normal, clearing your free quest. That's going to get you essentially your normal materials for the shop, aka the T-Bowl, the Oban, and the Whisk there. And it's also going to get you some tea leaves, basically, of the various colors there. Your green, yellow, and red tea leaves. And what those are going to do is those are going to be sort of your mini lotto currency. So as you accumulate tea leaves, you're going to be able to convert them essentially into new materials, new items. So basically, by converting them, you're going to get ascension mats that you're going to need for your various units. So it's a good idea maybe before the Guda Guda event comes to you guys on NA here to figure out what particular, like, things you actually need to work on for your account. If you have a good handle on what ascension mats you need the most of, it's going to be very easy to know which ones to target here. Now, again, you can see by basically using the tea leaves, by brewing them in effect, you're going to be able to get the essentially the items, aka the ascension materials, as well as tea ceremony points, because this is a point ladder event, and that is going to be something that's going to be combined with everything else. Again, there is a little bit of efficiency here. We will talk about that at the end, but it's definitely going to be an interesting thing. Now, you guys can see, basically, you're going to get the T-point ladder and stuff, and essentially, that's how it's going to be. One way of getting items from the event is going to be by leveling that point ladder, and then the other one's just going to be by exchanging your normal event currencies from the shop. You can also equip the various CEs to increase drops. Welcoming a journey will be sort of your shop CE. That's going to increase your tea leaf drops. And then essentially resentment from the underworld is going to increase your gold T-bowls. It's not here is going to be the Oban, and the result of the soil is going to be your T-Whisk drops. Do understand the names of these CEs will probably be at least a little bit different on NA due to just simply localization. A new main quest is unlocked daily when a certain amount of tea ceremony points is met. So again, make sure you guys are doing this every day just so that you keep up with the story. Otherwise, if you're trying to come from behind, you're going to end up having to grind some on every single sort of node, every single day's worth of node in order to get to the next part. And then again, after you've cleared the main story, you will acquire EO permanently. So it's definitely going to be a nice thing. For your event bonus units, you guys could expect the normal Guda Guda cast, but we've got a couple of new units, including Keisuke here. He is a 4-star saber. He's kind of a supporty saber in that regard for the basically the Shinsengumi. And then you're going to have Senno Rikyu, the event's new 5-star. She is an AoE quick berserker, and she is a Black Grail looper. So we'll definitely talk about her in her unit analysis. She's definitely a really good one to know about. And then, as we mentioned before, EO, who is a fantastic welfare. They're going to be the ones that give you the most damage bonus. They also have bond bonus. And then from there, again, your normal Guda Guda cast here is basically going to have various amounts of damage and bond bonus, with Mash kind of rounding it up here at the end, basically giving 5% bond bonus to everybody else in the party and still having 30% damage bonus herself. So no bonus for things like currency drops or tea leaves or anything like that. So you can rest assured and take whoever the heck you want, unless you're really overly concerned about damage or bond. For your event CEs here, we've actually got them already pulled up. So you can see welcoming a journey, like we said before, this is going to be your shop CE. This is what's going to give you the tea leaf drops. It is unfortunately split stats because otherwise it would be quite the nice CE, especially at MLB. You guys can see it would give you 50% charge, NP generation rate by 8%, and Buster and Quick up of 10% each. So definitely a nice one there for hybrids. But yeah, again, it's not all attack stat or something like that, so I don't really recommend leveling it. But you can see if you do manage to MLB it, it will increase your tea leaf drops by 2. So another really, really nice thing there. Your gold material CE here is going to be the Gotcha CE. That's a 5-star. And this one is another really nice CE. It is all attack stat, so it may be something that's worth your attention. I'm not going to say necessarily to go whale for it or anything like that, but you can see if you manage to get an MLB. It's ignore invincibility, buster up of 5%, and NP damage of 20%. So it's a very nice invuln pierce CE. Certainly, even if you only get the one copy or something like that, it's still going to be pretty useful, but it will lose a little bit of its effectiveness overall, and you won't be able to level it all the way up. From there, we also had the 4-star CE, and this one is not particularly bad either. I don't really recommend leveling it, not just because it's 4-star, but also because it is split stats. But you can see it does give arts up of 5%, crit damage of 10%, and it's going to be kind of a budget overcharge CE since it gives one stage for one time, but it's only a 4-star slot and cost, so definitely not too bad in terms of options for that. And then your 3-star C is going to be nothing too much to write home about, but we're kind of used to this at this point with 3-star CEs. Again, it's going to give damage taken reduction by 200 flat damage there, and then quick performance up of 5%. Again, split stats here. The art is fantastic, but obviously nothing too much more there, and that's going to be your bronze CE for the actual event. So now, the other thing we want to talk about is the fact that you do have 2 new servant strengthenings coming with this event. For Oki-tan, this is actually going to be a particularly effective one. It basically is going to increase her dual steroid there to also having Sky attribute up for 3 turns. Definitely going to be a really nice thing, as again, it is a skill on a 6-turn cooldown. So you are going to be able to basically get back to it and have it double stack in a conventional Koyan Skya loop. Definitely a lot nicer for her, as it's just going to result in a niche that's going to allow her to stand out compared to some of her competition. We also do end up having a buff to Mori here, and this is a nice one because it's basically a buff to Mori's second skill. It's his skill that has the 3 attacks, 3 turns limitation, and instead it's just going to be changed to having 3 turns. They get rid of that annoying restriction, so it's a lot nicer for him to be able to use. We're also going to end up having basically Okita's like Shinsengumi costume added to the Da Vinci Workshop. Again, if you have cleared Solomon's Singularity here, it will be free for you, so another really nice thing there. And if you already have purchased it, basically it's going to end up refunding you rare prisms, so it is nice in that regard. Talking about the shop here now, we obviously end up having our 3 normal shop currencies, as well as our tea leaves and tea brewing, and we'll talk about that here in a second. But basically, you guys can see you do have the Holiday Memory style costume here, and one of the copies of EU here in your gold shop. You've got 2 copies of the Event C as well, and again, your coins for your welfare, as you guys should definitely be used to this by now. You're also going to have 1 crystallized lore, and then we go through basically the ascension materials here, essentially with scarabs, black beast greased feathers, and the new Trom sort of flasks there. Definitely going to be really nice for people that need those, as there are 30 of them. And then I don't really recommend the command code removers at the current point in time, unless JP decides to do something crazy with them, like make them the mechanic for how you switch your appends with the new coin thing. But besides that, I don't really recommend picking them up. They're not worth your currency, and they're best ignored. You do have the gold statues. Again, we are getting kind of close to Ordeal Call, and as of next year with Ordeal Call and the Storm Pod nodes, you will start to be able to work on your class score system. Make sure you guys have enough statues and monuments to be able to do that sort of thing. So again, if you do roll this event and you have a ton of CEs, it can be good if you have the extra spare time before the event is over to actually gather the statues from the shop as well. And then certainly, again, we have the gold foe copies, 1 each there for attack and HP. For your silver mats, you are going to have another copy of the event CE. Basically going to end up with more of EO's coins, another crystallized lore, another command code remover that you should ignore, your lamps of evil sealing, your gears, your magatamas, and your fangs here are going to be options. Again, your silver statues here, and then 1 more copy of a gold attack foe. I think I said CE last time, so sorry about that. with the bronze material shop here now, you guys can see you get one more copy of the event C, so now you're at 4 as a total with this. You do get even more coins for EO, no crystallized lore in this one, and again, don't get your command code remover. You do get the LB 5 crowns, you do get the LB 3 bells, the proof of the hero, and the evil bones here as well. One more copy of a gold HP foe, and then your normal 3-star foe sets here, as well as one set each of your 5-star experience, your 4-star experience, and your 3-star experience. So definitely an okay shop in that regard. Now let's take a look at the tea leaves here, because again, this is just going to be the exchange basically for them. So if you have too much of one type, you can trade them. The thing you guys need to understand is the trading is not really worth. That is to say, converting one type of tea leaf into another is a 4-to-1 loss. So you're going to lose 4 of another type of tea leaf for 1 of the other. If you're going to do something like this, I highly recommend it at the end of the event, not at the beginning. Because again, if you end up with just way too much of like one type of tea leaf, then you can try to convert it into other ones to get the materials you actually want in the end. But I wouldn't do it right away until you've unlocked all the possibilities for your tea leaves and you kind of know what it is that you do want. Again, keep in mind that tea leaves are also the way you guys are going to get points for the point ladder to some degree, so make sure that you're trying to use them at least somewhat efficiently. So again, I don't really recommend this, at least not until the very end of the event where you kind of have done everything you want to do. For the actual tea brewing, though, we can kind of talk about this. Obviously, there are some better than like other options, but I think it's really going to depend on your account. If you're a newer player, you're going to need some of those older materials more. If you're an older player, you're going to just only need the new materials probably. So it definitely depends on what you want to try and go after. But you guys can see here, it's going to require a significant number of tea leaves to exchange, and it's not a guarantee that you get one specific material. It is going to be a little bit of a random roll there amongst 4 different types, with again a preference for one of them. And for instance, you guys can see here for these first 3 right here, you can see this one is high. It's all the same materials basically. Actually, I say for the first 3, it's actually for the first 4 there. It's going to be all these same materials for each one of these. And again, this first one, the exchange is going to be high for the fangs. The second one, it's going to be high for the chains. The third one's going to be high for the cerebral spinal fluid, and the fourth one's going to be high for the seeds. So it's up to you to determine which one you want to go after. But again, it's just going to be a case of target whichever one has the material that you want the most. That's going to get you the most on average by doing that. Again, you can see though the exchange rate is not necessarily always going to be like the best in your favor, because certain nodes will drop certain types of tea leaf. So you might be kind of pigeonholed into being like, oh man, maybe I kind of got to go for this one because it's for what the tea leaves I have, and I need to advance the point ladder. That can definitely be a thing, but do keep in mind you can always come back and reconvert for some of these if you feel like you need some of the materials more. Just another PSA here, though. I will tell you, odds are you're probably going to want to exchange for the gold things that are in this, because it should be a better exchange rate. And just to kind of give you guys another glimpse here, essentially at this level of point structure and refund, you guys can see we do have another exchange essentially with all of these formats in here. And then simultaneously you have one right here at the end. So again, these gold ones are definitely going to be quite lucrative, especially if you need these, because nobody really wants to have to manually farm these out. So definitely, if you need Hearts of the Foreign God, if you need the 5.5 Oni Hearts, Oni Lanterns, you can go after that. And if you need Black Beast Grease, you can go after these. So that's going to be sort of your best choice. And you do also have at least 4-star experience in here, not 5-star, unfortunately. So it's totally up to you to determine if you want to go after these as opposed to maybe the silver or the bronze mats. But again, this is probably going to give you better bang for your buck in terms of I don't want to have to farm these. So it's totally up to you to determine which one you want to try to pursue. I'm not going to try to spoil the main quest for you here, but we're just going to kind of quickly zoom to the end just to give us a real quick look at what the reward is. So you guys can see you are going to end up unlocking a grail from that. Definitely a nice thing that you guys will want to complete the main story for. And remember, completing main story is going to be how you're going to unlock EO, the welfare for this event. Take a look at the free quests. Again, you guys could see there's going to be a couple available right there to you guys on the first day, each with a different material that they're going to max out on. And again, each with a different allotment of tea leaves here. So do keep in mind that you can kind of try to farm accordingly in that, but your main priority is going to be to try and get the event shop craft essence right away, since that also increases your tea leaf drops. If you do plan to pop apples in this event and degen, again, that's up to you. But what I will say is at that point, maybe try to prioritize like the tea leaf drop bonus over everything else, because if you are going to end up popping a lot of apples, you'll probably automatically complete the shop, especially if you end up farming on like the 90++ node. So just keep that in mind, that will be a thing for a lot of people. But do also remember, as of November, you have another lotto, so it's up to you to determine how to utilize your apples. Again, though, just kind of looking through here, you'll see as we kind of go down the list, there's your level 75 node. Clear extra 2. Yeah, so here it is. So this is going to end up being your 90++. This is a pretty infamous one because it involves Chief Mischievous BB-chan. BB is a moon cancer. Rulers kill moon cancers. BB is also divine. And EO is anti-divine. So your welfare is especially good at taking on this node. Again, it's only a 2-wave node, but it does give a ton of tea leaves. It does give a ton of the materials. So it can be really nice for you guys. And again, it can drop more of the bonus TCE. So again, totally up to you to determine how you want to handle this. Your 90+ is basically a 1, 2, 3 node that's Lancers. Again, it's not going to be the best for the drops, but it's not going to be terrible either. So if you feel like you just can't do the 90++ for some reason, maybe you don't have good art supports with EO or something like that, it's totally fine to step down and do something like this. We've had a ton of Lancer nodes for 90+, so it shouldn't be anything relatively new for a lot of people to be able to farm a Lancer node. Okay, so now that is our free quest. We can take a quick look here at the challenge quest. Again, you can see it's basically going to end up being EO and a tree. So definitely an interesting thing here. Be careful of the tree. The tree is a Spriggan. You know what Spriggans do. They like to crit you. So again, just be careful. And actually, I think that one actually will sit there and try to like heal a bunch as well. So it is what it is. It shouldn't be too hard of a CQ. Remember, you'll have damage bonus and all that stuff. But you will get a crystallized lore from completing this. So it's definitely going to be something that you'll still want to do, especially if you don't normally get your hands on crystallized lores. Taking a look at the point ladder here, just to kind of glimpse through the rewards. You guys can see we do get some really nice stuff. We get mana prisms, QP, apples, even to some degree. LB6 bells, definitely going to be something that a lot of people might still need. Again, you do have the experience CE, so this can be another really good time to roll out your FP. Just keep that in mind, because again, I do believe, well, actually, let me not stick my foot in my mouth, and I'll go take a look at the banner with you guys here before I speak too soon. But again, yeah, you might not have like a super beneficial like 2 times suck rate or something right here necessarily, but just having all the CEs for CE fodder for making craft essence bombs can be really nice. So totally up to you if you want to hoard them for a later more lucrative time, like another download campaign, or if you just want to go ahead and blow them to kind of keep your inventory clear. Then looking at the next rung of the ladder here, you can see we got spirit roots in here. As the rewards start to get a little bit nicer, we do have our command codes. I'll talk with you guys about them here in a second, because I think we missed them earlier. And you do have some command code keys, as well as a crystallized lore here at 700k. being a nice early thing there. The point ladder only goes up to 2 million this time. Just understand the event will be scaled and structured for that. So taking a look at the last rung of the ladder here, you can see the apples are getting nicer. We got silver and gold now. We do have a couple of gold faux copies in here. And again, you can see we have a 5th copy of the craft essence in case you don't manage to get it to drop. So you will have 5 copies automatically for MLBing after the event. But again, keep in mind, it's your tea leaf bonus, so it may be better to and more beneficial to keep them separate, at least if you're trying to prioritize tea drops, until you get to a point where you can't take them anymore and you just need to go ahead and MLB it. Again, another crystallized lure here at 1.2 million and a final one there at 2 million, as well as a summoning ticket as well there. So definitely some nice stuff from the reward. Not the craziest thing, but again, I think the point ladder's toned down a little bit due to the way the tea leaves work, since they are infinitely farmable this time. Take a look at your summoning campaign. Your first one here is going to be Senno Riku, like we already mentioned. It's also going to have Keisuke on here, and then it's going to have Mori on top of that. So again, Mori is a limited 3-star. Particularly if you need coins for him, this could be a good time to roll. But even then, it's difficult to get your hands on him otherwise. So if you're just looking for the collection copy, hey, here he is. Again, you guys can see the craft essences that we already talked about. And then summoning banner 2 is, like we said, that Kilmoff banner that may, get rebranded into something else like a back to school campaign. So it is what it is. But let's real quick here go back to the event cards and talk to you guys about the command codes. So you do have the 5-star command code here that's going to inflict burn of 500 for 3 turns when attacking using the engraved card. So again, it's another burn command code. You guys know these are really nice to have, obviously for proccing things like Honey Lake, or again, just if you have a unit that is somebody that relies on burn damage for like a super effective modifier. It'll also increase the engraved card's critical damage by 15%, which is nothing to sneeze at. That's definitely a really, really nice effect there just on its own. So a really good 5-star command code. Your 4-star is Eternity Mirror. It gains immunity to Skill Seal, NP Seal, and Card Seal for 1 time 2 turns when attacking. This could be really nice to put on someone if you're trying to solo in a particularly annoying challenge fight, or if you just don't want, say, like a support or your main damage dealer to have like their NP seal or their skills sealed, because there's going to be like a break bar effect or something like that. And then Ocha Nobu here is the 3-star. It actually, when engraved on a quick card specifically, removes 1 latest ailment debuff when attacking with the engraved card. It also increases max HP by 100 for 1 turn when attacking with the engraved card. This sounds great. It is still a 100 heal, but do understand it will just expire quite literally after the turn ends. After you're done carding, go through the enemy's turn and go back to your turn again, it's gone. So it's nice to have. It's not the greatest thing ever. So again, that is the event in a nutshell, but real quick here, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about efficiency, because again, we do have a handy dandy spreadsheet that a member of our community, Brand, made, and he did a fantastic job as always. I will put the link in the video description so that you guys can see, but this covers the actual efficiency of each of the nodes. And again, you guys could see it kind of summarizes as well what the possible node structure and event is kind of for you guys. So you guys could see him kind of echoing the same thing I said here earlier. Focus the materials you specifically need, otherwise craft evenly to minimize waste. That is to say, you don't want to go, oh, okay, I'll exchange 4 to 1, and then go like, oh crap, I don't have enough event points to progress the story. It's not a good thing. Don't do that early, at least. Try to wait for that later on. So even if you don't necessarily want to take one of the early exchanges, I would recommend at least doing so just to get you through the story progression to the later points where you can start to, exchange for like the silvers or the golds. Totally up to you, but you can see there is some really nice efficiency. And obviously in terms of running stuff, your best efficiency is going to be basically your 90 plus and plus plus. That's kind of par for the course. That's how it's always been. and it's totally up to you guys to determine basically how you want to focus on things. There are multiple tabs, including the tea gathering here. Again, this is going to kind of show you the drop bonus for the various types, because you have your red tea leaves, your yellow tea leaves, and your green tea leaves here. And then we also have an efficiency calculator in effect down here for figuring out just kind of how much you actually want and how much you need to get. So again, it is a very, very handy spreadsheet. I do recommend checking it out. And again, like I said, I will put the event spreadsheet here in the description below. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys found this informative. Good luck with your rolls. We'll be covering Sinnoh Rikyu and Keisuke here basically next week. So I hope to see you guys for those unit analyses as well. And if you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Again, I really appreciate all the support. So hope you guys have a good one. Later. Okay. Oh, thank God we got rid of those weird YouTube recording people. No, I'm just kidding. No, he did glance over it. Sorry, did I miss something? Is chat telling me that I missed something? Congrats on another finished video. Yeah, it actually didn't take that long. We did a pretty good job. I tried to make things succinct because, like, so for instance, like, chat, this main page doesn't tell you jack shit. Okay, so the only thing that I didn't touch is it did tell you the point values that you need to unlock, but that'll be apparent in the event. It'll literally tell you right there on the front the second you go to do it. So not a huge deal. Oh, we do get the Rengoku costume. I missed that. You know what? Out of everything that I could have missed in an event, I'm glad I missed this one. Screw the Rengoku costume. If you use it, you're evil. I don't know why. I've never liked it, because to me it's like if you rolled Oki-tan, you probably rolled her because you liked her and you wanted her. So at that point, trying to like instead use Rengoku just seems weird to me. But yep, that's really all you missed on the first page. Normally there's not much of anything there. It just goes like, oh, here's your event welfare. They get 2 times rate, which I don't even think it did that. Oh yeah, it did. Okay, so it was right there. Rengoku is pretty neat. Oh, I don't hate Rengoku by any means. I think the issue that I have with Rengoku has to do with the fact that, and hear me out on this chat. I hate this, okay? I don't hate Rengoku, but I hate this. I hate that with Okita is her own character, okay? With Okita Alter, she is not her own character. All the character progression and stuff is focused on Rengoku. I hate that, because like I actually legitimately want to know more about Okita Alter and the fact that she is actually a counterforce guardian. Like, I don't want to know more about Rengoku that much. Like, it's fine if you tell me something, but it really does feel like all of the character progression is Rengoku, and it's to the point that it's like she's basically overtaken by him. So that's part of one of the reasons that I hate this costume, because it just absolutely encapsulates that. Like, oh yeah, no, this is just actually the Rengoku show. Lasengle, there's only Rengoku. Yeah, it's like, God, that feels like such a ripoff if you wanted to know more about her. I rolled Oki-tan because I was trying for NP2 Okita. Oh, wow. We have already seen enough of Oki-tan through her interludes. No, you haven't. Because all of her interludes focus on Rengoku. I'm not even kidding you. Like, everything to do with Oki-tan after Guda Guda 3 focuses on Rengoku. It's wild. Are you winning, son? We just finished the event review. We also did the writer Ishtar analysis earlier, so you missed that. Oki to Alter has always been more or less like an automaton as the counter guardian, if I remember correctly. Right, but I would love for them to delve into that more. I feel like that would actually be a really cool thing. However, I don't think Nasu wants to delve into it more. I think he wants to keep the whole like counter force bullshit like really mysterious. And to be fair, I understand that. I love this song so much. Yeah. Rengoku has been more of her voice of reason. No, I mean, like, let me give you an example. So, Oki to alter Summer Saber. Oh, ass. There's a point during Summer 6 that she loses Rengoku. At that point, her only lines are, I must get Rengoku back. Like quite literally. Like, every interaction you have from the point she loses Rengoku to when you recover Rengoku is, where is my Rengoku? I must get Rengoku back. Like, that's it. She doesn't have any character outside of herself at that point. Like, it's actually kind of wild. And I know that, like, yeah, she should be concerned and all that stuff. I'm not saying that. But it's like, she literally goes, like, one-dimensional as a character at that point. And then prior to that, a lot of it is like, oh, hey, Oki to Alter, what do you think about this? I don't know, Rengoku, what do you think? So yeah, like I said, I don't really like hate Rengoku himself. It's a cool concept to have a living sword, especially one that's like physically manifest right there alongside you. But yeah, they quite literally just end up focusing everything on it. Nice watermelon caliber, yes. She's a sim for a sword, yeah. It's EO time. Yeah, we gotta cover EO as well. But we'll see. Bum, 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 bum. When is Nobukatsu coming back? That's what I wanted to see, because I was like, wait, is Nobukatsu actually here? I don't think he is, because they would have listed it as a thing. So I think Nobukatsu skips this Guda Guda, if I remember correctly, and he comes back next one. Let me double check that. Yep. Yep. So he's not here for this one. Yeah, it literally it skipped one, and that's the unfortunate nature of it. But like, the good part is like they did that with Nobukatsu, and they also brought Mary Anning back in a separate event. So it does appear like they kind of know, and that they're gonna keep like just stuffing them into every annual like Guda Guda and or event that they can, right? I think they want them to be limited, but they don't want them to be like extinct, right? Like they don't want it to make it so like, oh, hey, you're a new player playing the game. Oh, you just can't get that unit anymore. So like, I think they've realized over time that that's kind of the strategy they used to have, and it didn't work well for them. When's the next time either of them return after this event? I mean, Nobukatsu's right here. Mary Anning was another event. I don't remember which one though. Let me see, because it may show on her page. Actually, does it say at the top? Point summoning campaigns. Okay. At the bottom of them. Christmas 2023. Okay. So basically, again, Nemo Moss. She showed back up again. So yeah, like I said, I think they kind of have realized, and you can probably expect it about every year, maybe like every 2 years, they're going to get a banner. I don't think it's going to be like they're permanently gone. I hope NA gets the Evocation Festival early. I mean, that'd be nice to a degree, but I don't think they necessarily need to. I do think it'd be good for like especially the newer players and the more free to play players. In that regard, like you won't hear me argue against it. I think it'd be smart of the devs to bring it early. But if the devs want to go like, hey, we want to hold it back so that we have something to celebrate, and also like, we can't really get the JP engineering department to give it to us early. I don't have any issue with it in that regard. So I understand if it's something that they bring it to us on time for. Hey, Nicotina, thank you for the 17. Going pretty good. We just got done doing the Guda Guda analysis and the writer Ishtar analysis. Bring it early. I need my brotoki. Yeah, I know there's a lot of people that are like, oh my god, I just want to like fix this welfare that I got like 3 out of the 4 ascension mats for. Or like, oh man, I got like 3 out of the 5 like copies for. Like, so I get it, right? Like there's a shit ton of people that's like, oh, I just missed this unit, or like I didn't get to complete this unit. At least we know we can fix it. Yeah, I think it's why they needed to do a system like this a long time ago. Like let's be honest, chat, should not have taken them till year 8 to do that. Also, Assassin Cheeky. Yep. Assassin Cheeky was for a long time the most desired welfare to come back. And they finally did give it to us. Why? Why what? Like why would someone not complete their unit? I don't know. It happens. People just don't like finish an event, or real life shit gets in the way. But have finished with my next 120. Don't we get the 2 times like leveling efficiency during the Evocation Festival like banner for each one of them? And the only reason I'm saying this is because I need to like think about that. Because if that's the case, I need to like abuse that. Because obviously they're Saberface welfares. I've heard people argue to make the seasonal events as interludes like Grand Blue Fantasy. Oh, I'm of the opinion that every single event needs to be an interlude. And it's just like, if you want to do it, you can go do it. And then like that way you don't miss any story if you don't want to. Because I think that is an issue with this sort of thing. Cat gonna power level Gray? Yeah, I mean, like, they wouldn't have been the first on my list to handle, right? But if they actually had the 2 times suck, and I need to, like I said, I need to look at that. That's something I really do need to abuse. Oh, there we go. Evo first. So did it give us 2 times? Maybe it didn't. Well, is what it is. How'd you go with the Super Recos? We 3-turned all of them. Only the Nezha one that I kind of like get effed by RNG and have to just like pop a seal, which it was also because I was like, well, I didn't want to like waste the time on it. It does? Wait, does it? Does it say it and I'm just like blind and not seeing it? Oh, 2 times experience gain. There it is. Yeah. Okay. I was like seeing the pictures and looking down here. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I need to abuse this because like, so chat, right? Like obviously this is a thing. Oh, whoops. But essentially here, here, double here, are saber faces. Which means I need 10? 10? Well, no, because they're, oh god. No, this gets worse. Because they're each level 80. So I basically need, let's see, 2 from 80 to 90, 5 from 9. Oh god, it's 17 each. Oh fuck. Yeah, I don't think I can do that. I don't think I can do that. I don't think there's enough. Because that's spicy. That's a lot of grails. And I'm not sure we get given enough by that point in time. Also, the coins are going to be quite the issue? No, not at all. Evocation Festival gives you coins. So, like, that won't be hard for me in the slightest. But, the frickin' grails? Nah, we get a lot of grails from grail casting, but, like, I don't know. That's gonna be rough. Because where I would need the first one is Evocation Festival Part 2, and that is May of next year. And I would need 17 grails stored up by then for Mixa. We do get given with the Ordeal Call campaign that we talked about. Wasn't it like some 30 grails or something? So that would put me ahead for a little while, but that would also require me to resist my temptation to grail like any other 5-star in the interim. I don't know that I care. Like I don't know that I care that much about abusing the 2 times efficiency. Campaign should be even earlier given NA timing. Yeah, I mean, I would assume it's not going to be super early, but like... Yeah, you're thinking too far ahead at that point, Deontay. Like, I don't care about min-maxing the appends to that degree. And I'll be honest with you, I don't care about min-maxing the appends to that degree, like, ever, regardless. I told you guys before, but it's like, oh no, I don't have all 3 of my appends unlocked. I still consider it a perfected unit. And, you know, let some jerkwad super mega whale tell me otherwise. I don't give a shit. I could probably just tilt them with the sheer number of, like, grailed units I already have, so... The usual make room for Thanksgiving timing, so slightly shifted. No, I mean, like in May? No, that's not the Thanksgiving timing at that point. That's anniversary timing. How good at looping is Summer Shisho? She's better than she used to be, but still not quite the best, right? She's AoE, she's quick, she's an assassin. So, you kind of know that that's just going to be limited in general. And thank you again, Ern, for the spreadsheet. Do appreciate that. So you're talking about the remaining events this year? No, just that. Like, the reason I had that slide up there with the 3 other events is because, like, people should be aware that, like, yes, 3 upcoming events require LB4, LB5, and LB6 respectively. So, like, y'all do need to finish story if you haven't. Like, you need to get caught up. And that is why they're doing it. They're trying to, like, gear you all up for LB7. Because that's why there's the whole Road to 7 thing as well. Like, they knew what they were doing. They did it on purpose. Okay, chat. I think that gonna be it for FGO tonight. Which means... there we go. Okay, sorry. I had to scrunch over there to be able to see it. Where are we? I love having the second 4 terabyte SSD. It is making so much more space on my computer. Wajoom. So we're gonna play some more Fate Stay Night. And this time we'll actually have enough time to make some actual progress, thank God. This game is peak fiction. Movie time? Yeah, movie time. Movie time with Cad. Okay, so where did we leave off? Do you have a guide open on the other monitor and also a wiki page? Nope. To be fair, like your first route through, you're kind of blocked in, and while there are dead ends, I never had a hard time avoiding them. It seemed pretty obvious, like, oh, that's gonna get me killed type situations. You're reading Nasu verse Bible? Yes. Okay. When I came to, I was lying in a burning field. It must have been a big fire. The familiar town was an unrecognizable smoking ruin. It looked like a scene from a war movie. The sight didn't last long, though. As morning dawned, the fires gradually died down. The towering walls of flame shrunk to embers, and most of the buildings looked to have collapsed. It felt so strange being the only unchanged thing in the town. I was the only one left alive. I was either fortunate, or the house I'd been inside was built on the luckiest ground of all time. Either way, I was the only one alive. Since I'd survived, I felt I needed to keep on living. I walked aimlessly, thinking it would be dangerous to remain where I was. It wasn't that I wanted to avoid becoming what had happened to everyone around me, those scorched, blackened messes. It wasn't a feeling of disgust. Some other emotion was driving me on. I need to see Saber. At the same time, I had no hope. It was a miracle I was alive at all, and I don't think I was going to last much longer. There was just no way in hell I was going to survive. There was simply no way I would ever escape this crimson hellscape, no matter what I did. That was how desperate, how hellish this place was, even through the eyes of a young boy. That's no problem, Kimbo. And then I collapsed. Either there was no air around me, or I simply couldn't breathe anymore. I just collapsed, and all I could do was to look up at the slowly clouding sky. The scorched black masses around me lay motionless. The dark clouds covered the sky, promising rain. Good. The rain will put out the fires. I took one final deep breath and looked up at the rain clouds. I couldn't breathe, but I still felt pain. I said that out loud on behalf of all those people who couldn't say those words themselves. That was 10 years ago. Miraculously, in the midst of all that, I was saved. My physical body survived, but everything else was scorched, reduced to ash. When a young child loses their parents or their home, there's really nothing left of them. And so everything other than my body perished. But as simply as possible, put as simply as possible, in exchange for my living body, my heart died. Oh my. Do you need to get all the bad ends for the Super Saber ending? I believe so. So like, chat, if you know where there's a bad ending coming up, feel free to just scream at me. I'm dreaming. I squinted, seeing a bright white light. It was blinding. Light stabbed at my eyes when I woke. I doubt I really knew what the sensation of blinding light was in the first place. As my eyes adjusted, I woke alarmed. I was lying in a bed I didn't recognize, in a room that I didn't recognize. I was honestly stunned, but the cleanliness of the white room made me feel at ease. I looked blankly at my surroundings. The room was spacious, and the beds lined it in neat rows. All the beds were full, and it looked like each bed's occupant was injured. But the room didn't feel depressing at all. Everyone injured survived. I let my eyes wander. I looked out the window. The clear blue sky was so incredibly beautiful. A few days passed, and I was finally able to take in the situation. I had no problem remembering what happened the days before, but I wasn't much different from a newborn during this time. Strange as it is, that was closer to the truth that might seem possible. The fire was just that bad. I was rescued from the fire. I awoke in a hospital. My parents were gone, and my entire body was wrapped in bandages. I didn't really understand what was going on, but I did know that I was alone. It didn't take long for me to accept my circumstances. Maybe I had no choice, really. All the other children were in the same boat. And then, later, in the moment, I, naive as I was, started to worry about what would become of me. He walked in. That is a really fucky sentence. Sorry, I realized in reading it, I was like, no, the pacing for that's terrible. He appeared the day my bandages came off and I started eating my own. Sorry, eating on my own. It messed with me so bad, I'm like turning him into a cannibal now. His hair was disheveled, his suit tattered. He looked a bit younger than my doctor. He looked more like someone's older brother than someone's father. His beaming smile seemed to blend into the pouring white sunlight. His voice was somehow irritatingly fake, yet extremely gentle. Shiro, don't get in the van. Don't get in the van, Shiro. He was offering to take me in. I asked if we were related. He said we were complete strangers. He looked like an unremarkable, unreliable guy. That's true, he was. But then again, he was no more or less familiar than the orphanage. So I decided I'd go with him. He started gathering my things hastily. Even as young as I was, I could see he wasn't any good at it. And after he made a mess packing, he turned, asking for confirmation. He asked so casually, as if asking me if there was somewhere I wanted to go. He said it in a serious, almost ceremonious manner. It happened so fast. Now that I think back, I was also immature. I just accepted his words as fact. I took it neither as a joke or genuine statement. I guess I said something like that, eyes wide in astonishment. And I was his child. Actually, I don't really remember how that conversation went, but every now and then, my old man would bring it up. He would recount that scene over and over, acting all embarrassed. That scene might have been the happiest day of my old man, a man named Kiritsugu Imiya's life. You can say that. It was one thing for him to tell a recently orphaned kid he was a magician. But I was no better, the way I so eagerly bought into it. And that was how my old man adopted me, and how I took the last name Imiya. Shiro Imiya. When I said that name out loud, I felt really proud of having the same last name as Kiritsugu. I'm dreaming. It's from my childhood. It's probably about 8 years ago, since it's about the time when I talked to my old man into making me his apprentice. Kiritsugu had started going away on a regular basis once I was old enough to stay home by myself. He'd always give some childish, unbelievable explanation like, I'm going to go on an adventure around the world. Then he'd actually do it. From then on, that's how it always was. It wasn't unusual for him to be gone for a month, and at times he didn't come home for half a year. The Emiya Mansion is just an expansive Japanese samurai-style house, and Kiritsugu and I were the only ones living there. It felt too big and empty for a child like me, and at times I felt lost. But I liked my life there. Whenever Kiritsugu came home from his trips, he would brag and tell stories like an excited child. And another child, one who shared his last name, always looked forward to those stories. I may have been alone in the mansion, but Kiritsugu's stories always helped lessen that. He was always pursuing a dream like a boy. I was weary of his whims, yet at the same time he always looked radiant to me. Maybe that's why I hoped to be like him one day. Well, as childish as I might have been, I realized I needed to get my act together, since I had an old man with his head constantly in the clouds. Oh no, he's not a wizard yet. I hear a sound. The heavy, rusted hinges on the door creak as it's being pushed open. Light pours in through the crack in the door. My mind tries to shake off the slumber. I hear footsteps drawing near, and I feel the winter air flowing in. I'm not sure why, but Sakura looks more cheerful than usual. I answer still half asleep. My head's still not right, so even I don't know what I'm saying. Sakura is giggling. Crap. I must still be so sleepy I've said something weird. The cold winter air helps at times like this. The chill snaps my lethargic mind awake. And in front of me stands my junior at school, Sakura Mato. I'm in my house's storehouse, and it's just about 6 o'clock in the morning. Sakura is practically bouncing with excitement. That's odd. Sakura is weirdly energetic this morning.
し、準備完了。それじゃあ行こう、さくら。
先輩。
なんだよ、他に何かあるのか？
いえ、そういうことではないんですけど、先輩、家に戻る前に着替えた方がいいと思います。
I finally look at myself. I fell asleep working last night, so I'm still wearing my coveralls. The coveralls I wear while I'm working are usually dirty. Who knows what Fujine would say or do if I went into the house as is.
まだ目が覚めてないみたいだ。なんか普段に増して抜けてるな、俺。
そうかもしれませんね。ですから朝食の支度は私に任せて、先輩はもう少しゆっくりしていてください。それにほら、ここを散らかしっぱなしにしていたら藤村先生に怒られるでしょ。
そうだな。それじゃあ着替えてから行くから、さくらは先に戻っていてくれ。はい、
お待ちしてますね、先輩。
Sakura quickly walks out. Okay then. I'll change into my school uniform first. Then I need to collect all the parts I left scattered around. The storehouse is in the corner of the backyard, and all sorts of junk is crammed in here. Though I've always liked to tinker with gadgets, so this place is a treasure trove to me. The old man forbade me to go into the storehouse, but I ignored his warnings and snuck inside almost every day. Now it's sort of a base for me. I guess you could call this place my real room. The massive Emiya house never felt homey to me, but I've always felt at ease in here, surrounded by all this junk.
そもそももったいないじゃないか。ガラクタって言ってもまだ使えるし。
The majority of the things in the storehouse are everyday things, mostly unusable. I'm not sure whether I brought it all in because I liked it in here, or whether I liked this place because it was full of junk. Either way, I snuck into the storehouse almost daily, and I made a sort of hobby of fixing broken things. I'm not the type who gets attached to things, but it just didn't feel right to neglect things that are still usable. Or maybe it would be better to say the idea of doing that just bothered me. Which is why I stayed up all night trying to fix a broken stove.
完成はしたか。途中で寝るなんて集中力が足りない証拠だ。
He is a hoarder. I try to shake off my self-disgust at that. I gather the parts for the stove and put them back on the shelf of things waiting to get fixed. There's no more room though. Once I fix the stove, an old VCR is up next. Both of which were destroyed by Fujine. We can set that aside for now. I change into my school uniform. Since the storehouse is like my own room, I have all the essentials, including changes of clothes in here. The rest are things that, like haphazardly drawn blueprints, scattered all over the place, and literal junk from my failed attempts at fixing various things. Also, there's some sort of pattern carved into the storehouse floor, perhaps used as some sort of an altar in the past.
さて、今日も一日頑張って精進しよう。
I clap my hands in prayer at the storehouse and turn towards the mansion. I walk from the storehouse to the mansion. This Emiya residence is a Japanese samurai-style house located on the outskirts of town. My old man wasn't from a notable family, yet for some reason he owned this giant house. That in and itself was a mystery, and it also seems he didn't have any relatives here in Japan. And so when my old man died, there was no one else to inherit this mansion, so it came to me as his adopted son. Though to be honest, I don't have any administrative abilities. So things like inheritance, property taxes, and any other complicated things are all handled by Old Man Fujimura. Old Man Fujimura is a major businessman who lives nearby. Kiritsugu described old man Fujimura as an old man who's like a Yakuza boss. Obviously, that was his own biased view. In fact, old man Fujimura is not like a Yakuza boss. He is a Yakuza boss. That may be a problem in itself, but I try not to dwell on it. Anyway, that's why I live in this giant mansion on my own. It's been 5 years since my old man died. Time sure does fly. I sigh thinking about how much I've grown in those 5 years. I trained every day to become like Kiritsugu, but that's easier said than done. It's not surprising since I didn't have what it takes from the start, but the fact that I haven't improved at all these past 5 years forces me to reassess things. If I had to sum up my current situation, I'd say I set the bar too high. I haven't even reached the starting line. No, rushing won't do me any good. For now, I just have to do what I can. Okay then. What I need to do now is... Oh, so there is a built-in flowchart. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I have no idea on this one. I think it's quite literally I'll go help Sakura, because I feel like if you don't, you're just asking for it. Right. I need to help Sakura. Making someone younger than me do all the work would be embarrassing, and I feel bad for Sakura coming here so early in the morning. But I'm too late. Breakfast looks to be done already. The appetizing scent of the breakfast Sakura cooked wafts towards me from the kitchen. Sakura finished cooking, and she's searching the cupboards for dishes.
面目ない。せめて食器の用意ぐらいはやるから、さくらは座っててくれ。
もう来ちゃったんですか、先輩。
もうじゃないぞ。6時10分って言ったら朝飯を食ってる時間じゃないか。完全に寝坊だよ。
Yeah, he only took 10 minutes. How the heck did you already prepare all the breakfast in 10 minutes? Holy shit.
そんなことはないと思いますよ。先輩は部活をしていないんですから、この時間は十分に早起きです。
部活は関係ない。それを言ったら朝練があるさくらがうちに来てくれるのも問題じゃないか。
私は好きでしていることですから、部活のことは気にしないでください。
ああ、それは何度も聞いた。だから俺も部活に関係なく早起きしてるんだ。さくらが来てくれるなら、その時間には起きてないと失礼だろ。
To me, waking up early is waking up before Sakura gets here, and oversleeping means I make Sakura prepare breakfast on her own, like today. Though this arrangement started only about a year and a half ago.
ともかく、さくらは休んでろよ。あとは並べるだけなんだから、それぐらい俺にやらせてくれ。
I stand next to Sakura and pull out the dishes. Sakura has a surprisingly stubborn side, so she won't rest unless I really push.
なら、私もお手伝いします。お皿には私が盛りますから、先輩はお茶碗を出してください。
いや、だから全部こっちでやるからいいってば。
いけません。先輩はお家の主人なんですから、朝くらいはドーンと構えていてください。
ドーンと構えろって。さくら一人に働かせてのんびりしている主人なんて家主失格だぞ。いいから。はい。ぜひ失格してください。これ、いつも美味しいご飯を食べさせてもらっているお返しなんです。だからできれば先輩にはゆっくりしていてほしいです。食費だったら折半なんだから、さくらが気にすることじゃない。感謝なんて言ったら俺がしたいぐらいだ。さくらが来てくれるようになってから飯が豪勢になったからな。
やっぱり ですね。先輩のお家のご飯が美味しいのはそういうことじゃないんです。
そういうことじゃないってどういうことだ？
いえ、何でもありません。けど責任取ってくださいね。私、先輩の家じゃないとご飯を美味しくいただけなくなっちゃったんですから。
バカ、おかしなこと言うな。藤姉に聞かれたらどうするんだ。あの人には冗談なんて通じないんだから。
Oh, she's not being sarcastic, Shiro.
そうですね。藤村先生に聞かれたら大変です。
まったくだ。あんまりおかしなこと言うな。
はい、言いません。言いませんからお手伝いしていいですよね、先輩。
Sakura looks me in the eyes so naturally and
いい
calmly.
よ、好きにしろ。そんなにやりたきゃさくらに任せる。
はい、好きにします、私。
まったく、本当に最近言うこと聞かなくなったよな、さくら。
ですね。藤村先生に似てきたのかもしれません。
Oh God. She responds softly as she reaches towards the cupboard. Her dark hair gently falls over her shoulder, and the curves of her body catch my eye. I can't explain it, but it's awkward. I'm not sure if it's our age, but Sakura's been looking more feminine lately. Her casual movements or her profile are so pretty, and I inadvertently avert my eyes.
先輩、どうかしましたか？
Yeah, there's no hentai in this.
どうもしてないから気にしないでくれ。
I couldn't stream it if there was, right? Honestly, it's baffling. Why the hell am I getting nervous around my friend's younger sister? Sakura is just a really good and considerate younger friend of mine, and she's someone I need to look after. She's the younger sister of a friend of mine. We used to be friendly, though initially we weren't very close since she's a grade below me. It was only a year and a half ago that our relationship became more what it is now. Sakura started to come and cook meals for me when I got hurt, and things kind of stayed like that. I think this arrangement was supposed to last until I got better, but I guess something or other happened, and somehow she ended up helping out with household chores. Either way, Sakura's a good cook, and her cleaning and laundry skills are perfect. Having her come by early in the morning is a big help, but it's been disconcerting recently. Sakura isn't the problem. It's me. I'm the problem now. I'm sure being flustered by my friend's sister is part of the reason I feel guilty. Usually I'm unfazed, but when I blush because I get caught off guard like now, I wonder whether that's problematic as her senpai. Yeah, problematic. Breakfast is lined up neatly on the table. A perfectly balanced meal of chicken with parsley salad, grilled salmon, blanched spinach, miso soup with radish and carrots, and grated yam soup. God, I wish I ate like that for breakfast. Holy shit. How did she make that all in 10 minutes? What the hell? Sakura and I sit down and bow, and begin our meal in silence. The gentle tapping of chopsticks is the only sound in the room. Sakura isn't typically talkative, and I hardly have anything to chat about during meals. So we eat in silence. Normally it's much rowdier than this, but the person who usually causes the commotion must have watched a spy movie or something last night, because she's eyeing the two of us through a newspaper she propped up in front of her food. Frosted Flakes? I wish, right? At that point, it's like, yeah, if it's just cereal, sure, I can see how you'd make it that fast, but it's like, holy crap, it's like a 6-course meal. Sakura remarks diffidently, but Fujine ignores her. Fujine is acting weird, but her being weird at breakfast isn't really all that weird for her. Sakura's used to it too, and she's eating as if nothing's the matter. Sakura typically cooks up Western dishes. She really only began learning to cook Japanese dishes since she started coming here to help me out. Sakura learned to cook simple Japanese dishes, at least for breakfast, because Fujine and I prefer them. Now Sakura's cooking skills have improved to the point she's better than me, and I'm the one who is teaching her. Her miso soup is flavorful and refined now, and she's even gotten to the point where she can grate yams to make yam soup. Actually, I think today's the first time she served yam soup.
さくら、醤油取って。
大変です先輩。先輩のお醤油は昨日で切れてます。
じゃあ藤根のでいいや、取って。
Uh-oh.
藤村先生、いいですか？
Fujine nods. The newspaper shuffles.
はいどうぞ。とろろ汁に使うんですか？
まあ、とろろには醤油だろう、普通。
A line of soy sauce streams from the bottle onto the grated white mound. I stir the mixture up, pour it over my rice, and take a bite. The stickiness of the grated yam, combined with the intense flavor of the soy sauce. Fuck, I'm hungry.
うわ、まずこれソースだぞ、ソース。しかもオイスター。
This is the first one? No. This is after the prologue. But we're not too deep in yet. This is basically the start of Fate Row. Fujine tosses her newspaper onto the table with an enthusiastic flick of her wrist.
どうだ。朝のうちにソースとお醤油のラベルを取り替えておく作戦なのだ。
The not so mysterious spy punches the air in victory.
朝っぱらから何考えてんだあんたは。今年で25のくせにいつまで経っても藤根は藤根だな。
ふふんだ。昨日の恨み思い知ったか。みんなと一緒になってお姉ちゃんをいじめるやつには当然の天罰ってところかしら。
天罰ってのは人
Yeah, why can't we not have a Fujine route?
おとなしいと思ったら昨日からこんなこと考えてやがったのか。この暇人。
そうだよ。おかげでこれから急いでテストの採点しなくちゃいけないんだから。そういうわけで急がないとやばいのだ。
Fujine sits back down and shovels her breakfast into her mouth.
はい、ごちそうさま。朝ごはん、今日も美味しかったよ、さくらちゃん。はい、お粗末様でした、先生。それじゃあ先に行くわね。二人とも遅刻したら怒るわよ。
And off she goes, stomping out in a rush. There's something terribly wrong with a world that allows someone like her to be a teacher. I agree.
先輩。
すまない。せっかくの朝食だっていうのに藤根のやつろくに味わいもしないで。
いえ、そういうのではなくて、昨日藤村先生に何かしたんですか？食べ物に細工するなんて藤村先生にしてはやりすぎですから。
いや、それがさ、昨日ついあだ名で呼んじまった。
それじゃあ仕方ありませんね。先輩、藤村先生に謝らなかったんでしょう。
めんぼくない。いつものことなんで忘れてた。
ダメですよ。藤村先生、先輩にあだ名を言われるのだけは嫌がるんですから。また泣かせちゃったんでしょう。
泣かした上にダットのごとく走り去らせた。おかげで昨日の英語は自習だった。
In fact, everyone in class worked together to make an award for me from their notebook paper because of that. I threw it away, obviously. Fujine is like an older sister to Sakura, so she's typically on Fujine's side, which is fine on its own, but I wish she would consider the fact that I have to deal with Fujine all day long. Fujine was originally an acquaintance of my old man, and she swung by the house pretty frequently since I was adopted. She kept on coming over even after my old man died, and now she acts like a freeloader, eating breakfast and dinner every day. Actually, it might have been thanks to Fujine that I was able to make it on my own after my old man died. And now, it's me, Fujine, and Sakura who are the residents of this Emiya house. But at the same time, I'm the only one who knows that my old man was a mage. They say mages have to keep that part of their lives secret, which is why I've also been hiding from others that I'm learning magecraft after I became my old man's apprentice. Learning may be a bit of a stretch, really, since I can barely use magecraft properly. So it wouldn't make much of a difference whether I hide magecraft or not, but since it was my old man's dying wish, I've been training in secret. I finish breakfast and get ready for school. I put away the dishes with Sakura as I listen to the news on the TV in the background. Sakura is looking blankly at the TV. A flashy caption reading, "Gas leaks continue," pops up on the screen. There seems to have been a big accident in the neighboring city of Shinto. It happened at a building in the business district. Apparently everyone on one of its floors lost consciousness from oxygen deprivation. Authorities have been calling it an accident resulting from gas leaks, but for some reason these incidences have been happening often.
今のニュース気になるのか、さくら。
いえ、別に。ただ、事故がシントで起きているなら近いなって。先輩、シントの方でアルバイトしていますよね。
してるけど、別にそんな大きな店じゃないよ。今のニュースみたいな事故は起きないと思う。
But I can't entirely ignore the idea either. Gas leaks can happen in any building, and it especially pains me to think that hundreds of people have fallen victim. Some say that these accidents are happening because of faulty construction work done during the rapid development projects in Shinto. Either way, I hope there won't be any more victims.
物騒な話だ。俺たちも気をつけないと。
あ、それならご心配なく先輩。ガスの元栓はいつも2回チェックしてますから安心です。
Sakura proudly proclaims.
いや、そういう話でなくて。
Yep, I've always known Sakura is a little off too. A little.
先輩、裏手の戸締まりはしました？
したよ。缶抜きかけたけど、問題あるか？
ありません。それじゃあ鍵かけますね。先輩、今日のお帰りは何時ですか？
少し遅くなると思う。さくらは？
私はいつも通りです。多分私の方が早いと思いますから、夕食の下準備は済ませておきますね。
うん、助かる。俺もできるだけ早く帰るよ。
The gate is locked tight. Sakura and Fujine both have keys to the house, and the rule is that whoever leaves last is in charge of locking everything up.
行こうか。急がないと朝練に間に合わない。
はい。それじゃあ少しだけ急ぎましょうか、先輩。
Sakura and I walk into town. We walk downhill along a long wall, to reach a more populated residential area. The Emiya house is located on top of a hill, away from the center of town. Heading down the hill leads us to the residential area. Going further down, we reach the intersection at the center of town. Several roads lead out from the center of town. There's a large bridge that connects to the neighboring town. A hill that leads to Ryodo Temple. a residential area located opposite my house, a shopping district that both Sakura and I often go to, and finally there's a path that leads to our school. We head straight to school without taking any detours. It's barely 7 o'clock, so there's hardly anyone around. Students making their way to their morning club activities are the only ones to be found along our route. I see Sakura off at the school gate as usual. Sakura's in the Kudo club, so this is where we usually split off. And yet, Sakura doesn't budge this morning.
いや、別に道場に用はないぞ。それに今日は一斉に頼まれてるから生徒会室に行かないとまずい。
そうですよね。ごめんなさい。余計なことを言っちゃって。
Sakura quickly bows her head. Hmm?
それじゃあ失礼します。晩ご飯楽しみにしていてくださいね。
Sakura runs towards the dojo, seemingly almost apologetic. What was that? I wonder what that was all about.
Issei, いるか?
いるぞ。今朝は少し遅かったな、エミヤ。
Issei glances up from his desk, looking like he's been studying some papers.
一斉だけか。他の連中はどうしたんだ。この時間なら登校しててもおかしくないだろう。
いや、あいにくとうちのメンバーはビジネスライクでね。働く時間帯はきっかり決まっていて、早出と残業はしたくないのだそうだ。
それで生徒会長自らが雑用か。ここはここで大変そうだな。
好きでしている苦労だ。エミヤに同情してもらうのは筋が違う。
いや、一斉に同情なんてしてないぞ。
それはそれで無念だが、聞き流すとしよう。情が移っているということでは同じだからな。
He knows him too well. Issei, who is gathering his papers into a single sheaf and tapping the edge against the table to square them neatly, is the big boss of the student council. He's been working to reform the student council, which has grown quite lax, and he's been a friend of mine since our first year in school. His full name is Issei Ryudo. Despite his old-fashioned sounding name, he has an elegant facial features, and he's popular with the girls. He's also the student council president, so you'd think he would have the leg up on over on everyone else, but that's not exactly the case.
やはり朝は舌がしびれるほどの熱湯が良い。
It's saying stuff like that as he sips the tea that prevents him from quite sticking the landing. As evidenced, Issei is quite plain. He's prone to be misunderstood, yet he neither dabbles in relationships nor does he care, nor he does what typical students do for fun. Sorry. My own predictive brain there. He's the heir of Ryudo Temple, which sits atop a mountain. He himself understands that he will inherit the temple, and there's a strong possibility that he'll shave his head without so much as a complaint as soon as he graduates from school.
それで、今日は何をするんだ？
まあともかく座って一服と言いたいのだが、時間がないな。移動がてら説明をするゆえ、いつもの道具を持ってついてきてくれ。率直に言うとな、うちの学校、金のバランスが極端なんだよ。
知ってる。運動系がひいきされてるもんで、他に予算がいかないんだろ？
結果文化系の部員は絶えず不遇の扱いでな。今年から文化系に予算が行くよう尽力しているのだが、予算の流れが不鮮明でうまく回っていない。おかげで未だ文化系の物質は不遇でな。特に冬のストーブ不足に関しては打開策がまるでない。
そうか。マイナスドライバーくれ。一番大きいやつな。あと動線も。これぐらいならなんと。
動線？これか。すまん、よくわからん。間違っていたら叱ってくれ。
当たってるからいいよ。で、ストーブ不足がどうしたって？ここ以外にも故障してんのがあんのか？
ある。第二視聴覚室と美術部の暖房器具が怪しいそうだ。新品購入願いの嘆願書が刻一刻と増えている。
けど予算にそんな余裕はないと。やっぱり劣化してるだけだな。中がイカれてなくて助かった。
治りそうか、エミヤ。
治るよ。こういう時古いやつは分かりやすくていい。配線系のショートだから新しいのに変えればとりあえず今年いっぱいは頑張ってくれる。
そうか、やるなエミヤ。お前が頼りになると極めて嬉しいぞ。
おかしな日本語使うね、一世と。もう少しで済むからちょっと外に出ててくれ。
エミヤの邪魔はせん。
Issei quietly steps out of the classroom. He might be thinking that I'm going to start on some sensitive work.
いや、デリケートといえばデリケートなんだけど。
I put my hand to the old electric stove. No matter how long someone's been fixing things, they can't usually figure out what's wrong by sight. So the fact that I can means what I'm doing is not ordinary. I close my eyes and look inside the stove by touch. And then suddenly, a single image pops into my head.
電熱線が断線しかかってるのが2つと、電熱管はまだ持つな。電源コードの方は絶縁テープでなんとかなる。
Good. I should be able to fix it with just the tools I brought along. If the electrical pipes were broken, it wouldn't be fixable by an amateur. Had that been the case, a certain strengthening would have to be done, which no amateur could manage. But I should be able to fix this one by sight. This is the magecraft Kiritsugu taught me.
よし、始めるか。
I take off the cover to begin my repairs. I already know where it's broken, so the rest of the work is easy.
これだけは得意なんだけどな、俺。
That's right. I, Shiro Imiya, have absolutely no talent in magecraft. But for some reason, I have a knack for visualizing the structure of things or blueprints like I did just now. My old man once saw me imagine and recreate a blueprint. He looked surprised and muttered, "What a useless talent." My special talent appears to be pointless. According to my old man, the fact that I can visualize object structures isn't really helpful. Mage normally wouldn't need to survey an object's entire structure like I do. He claims the mage's struggle is to instantly seek out an object's center, or its core, and transform it as quickly as possible. That's why reading blueprints is a waste of time, and even that only helps seek out areas for magical energy to pass through. And so, fixing broken stuff is one of the only things I'm good at. After all, I don't have to open the entire thing up to find the problem. If I can find the problem quickly, I can fix most things as long as I have the know-how to repair it. Though, I only do that with things an amateur could reasonably be expected to
よ
fix.
し、終わり。次に行くか。
I put away the conductors, pick up the screwdriver and wrench, and head out into the hallway.
伊勢、修理終わったぞ。
Oh, hey. A female student is standing next to Issei in the hallway. I'm a little surprised. The girl talking to Issei is Rin Tosaka, a second year from Class A. She lives in a giant Western-style mansion up on a big hill, and she's an extraordinary honor student. She's pretty, smart, athletic, no flaws at all. She's intelligent and polite, and she never brags about her looks. She's truly the ideal girl to guys, apparently. Which is why the male students treat her like an idol. But Tosaka is just too good, and she's become unattainable. The guys all say the only people who can talk to Tosaka are Issei and the teachers. Well, okay, I'm also a guy. And I'm including myself in the list of her admirers. Tosaka's looking at us, annoyed. I guess rumors are true that Issei and Tosaka don't get along.
と悪い。頼んだのはこっちなのに、エミヤに任せっきりにしてしまった。許せ。
Whoa. Issei's pretty gutsy talking to me and completely ignoring Tosaka like that.
そんなこと気にするな。で、次はどこだよ。あんまり時間ないぞ。
ああ、次は視聴覚室だ。前から調子が悪かったそうなんだが、この度ついに天寿を全うされた。
天寿全うしてたら直せないだろ。買い直したのが早いぞ。
そうなんだが、一応見てくれると助かる。俺から見れば臨終だが、お前から見れば仮病かもしれん。
そうか。なら試そう。
There's only about 30 minutes until Homeroom starts. I'll need to hurry and fix it or I'll run out of time. I head to the audio-visual room, but I realize completely ignoring Tosaka would be rude. I turn to face her since she's been standing there the whole time.
朝早いんだな、トサカ。
I blurt out the first thing that comes to mind and then follow Issei. He pulled the Sigma move there and is just like, you're here. And just walked off. I have observed you.
ギリギリ間に合ったか。すまんなエミヤ。また苦労をかけた。頼み事をした上に遅刻させては友人失格だ。
別に気にするな。俺が遅刻する分には大したことじゃないだろ。
ま、もっともだ。いや、間に合ってよかった。
Issei exhales a sigh of relief and heads to his desk. Exactly 8 o'clock. 5 minutes after the bell for homeroom rings, Fujine will enter the classroom. My breathing is labored since I ran from the audio-visual room. I take a deep breath before I take my seat.
朝から騒がしいねエミヤ。部活を辞めてから何をしてるかと思えば竜道の太鼓持ち。僕には関係ないけどさ、うちの評判を落とすようなことはしないでよね君。なんていうか節操ないからさ。
What a dick. Ah. Standing in front of my desk is Shinji Mato. He's been a friend of mine since middle school. Yeah, friend. His last name is Mato, and he's Sakura's older brother. He's 1 year older than her.
弓道部は落ち着いてるか、シンジ。
当然だろう。部外者に話してもしょうがないけど、目立ちたがり屋が一人減ったんで平和になったんだ。次の大会だっていいところまで行くさ。
No, you won't.
そうか。三つ釣りも頑張ってるんだな。
はあ？何見当違いなこと言ってんの？弓道部が記録を伸ばしてるのは僕がいるからに決まってるじゃんか。エミはさ、とっくに部外者なんだから知ったような口を叩くと恥をかくよ。
Shinji, the only way you could hit the broadside of a barn is if Hercules threw you into it.
そうか。気をつけよう。もっとも弓道部に用はないから関わることはないけどな。
I put my bag on my desk and pull the chair back.
何それ？僕の弓道部には興味がないってこと？
興味じゃなくて用だよ。 部外者なんだからおいそれと道場に行くのは変だろう。
That was a really short statement for a really long sentence.
けど何かあったら言ってくれ。手伝えることがあったら手伝う。弦張りとか弓の直し、シンジは苦手だったろ。
そう、サンキュー。何か雑用があったら声をかけるよ。ま、そんなことはないだろうけどさ。
ああ、それがいい。雑用を残しているようなやつは首相失格だからな。あんまり藤村先生を困らせるなよ。あの人怒ると本気で怖いぞ。
余計なお世話だ。ともかくお前はもう部外者なんだから道場に近づくなよ。
I'd like to point out that Shiro's not a member of the club because he got injured. So it's like, bro, you got injured. Fuck you. You're not part of our club anymore. And just like that, Shinji heads off to his seat, all self-important bluster as ever. Huh. He does seem moodier than usual.
ふざけたやつだ。自分からエミヤを追い出しておいてよくもあんな口が聞ける。
なんだ伊勢、いたのか。
なんだとはなんだ。気を利かして聞き耳を立てていた友人に向かってなんと冷淡な男だお前は。
なんで気を利かすの
Can't
さ。
make the club from the
俺
top.
一斉に心配されるようなことをしてないぞ。
たわけ心配もするわ。エミヤはカッとなりやすいからな。真珠に殴りかかれば皆は喝采を送るが女どもからは非難の嵐だ。友人をそんな微妙な立場に置くのはよろしくない。
そっか。
I like how Issei is literally more of a friend to him than Shinji is.
ありがとう伊勢。
It's so freaking hilarious.
今の心配は
Shinji is his friend, and then Issei is like the only one actually concerned for him.
わかればよろしい。だが意外だったぞ。エミヤは怒りやすいくせにマトウには寛大なんだな。
ああ、あれはシンジの味だからな。付き合いが長いと慣れてくる。
そんなものか。
そんなものです。ほら、納得したら席に戻れよ。そろそろ藤村先生がすっ飛んでくるぞ。
あの方は飛んでくるというより浮いてくるという感じだかな。
The bell to start homeroom rings. Normally, the homeroom teacher comes into the classroom 5 minutes before homeroom starts, but our teacher isn't what you'd call typical. Homeroom for Class 2C typically starts 1 minute after the starting bell. In other words... Homeroom starts with the sounds of Fujini's shouts and hurried footsteps. Fujine tumbles, and I hear some kind of unnatural sound. Contrary to the hectic sounds of a few seconds earlier, the classroom is now dead silent. The mood shifts sharply. It's no wonder Fujine is called a human roller coaster. But honestly, the way she fell didn't seem like a laughing matter. Fujine hit her head against the podium, and she's still lying on the floor. Seeing her lying there face down and unmoving has everyone imagining the worst.
おい、前の席のやつ、先生起こしてやれよ。
やだよ。近づいた途端パクって食べられたら怖いもん。
ミミックじゃあるまいし、さすがに藤村でもそこまでやらねえだろ。
How do you know she's not a mimic?
あんたね、そう言うなら自分で起こしてあげなさいよ。
うわ、俺パス。こういうの苦手。
私だって苦手よ。大体なんで女の子にやらせるわけ？男子やりなさいよね、男子。
The students in the front row start to get rowdy. Those of us sitting in the middle rows can't see what's going on. So we all stand up to get a look.
ちょっと先生動いてないぞ。気絶してんじゃないのか？
Someone brings up the obvious. The problem is, how would we get Fujine to the infirmary? We're all like comrades in arms after our time dealing with Fujine. Probably nobody's thrilled by the idea of taking a teacher to the infirmary.
藤村先生、大丈夫ですか？
A brave girl approaches. Fujine isn't moving. The class grows more concerned.
まずいって今の転び方。こう頭から直角に教壇に突っ込んだじゃないか。あれで無傷だったら藤村無敵っぽいって。
いっそのこと野球部にスカウトするのはどうだろう。
やめろよな、そういう脅しは。タイガーが顧問になった日には俺たち甲子園行っちまうぞ。
藤村先生、藤村先生、ダメ、なんか反応ないよ。
おい、お前目の前なんだから起こしてやれよ。やだよ俺。もし死んでたら殺されかねねえ。
でもだからってほっといたら後が怖いと思うし。
でも誰も近づきたくないと。
仕方ねえな。こうなったらあれしかないか。
あれだね。
Everyone's on the same page. Except Shinji and I. We keep quiet because the two of us dared not be a part of what was about to happen. It comes out a whisper, even with so many students speaking in unison. The word tiger is especially inaudible. And yet, Twitch. Fujine's previously motionless body reacts.
動いた。効き目ありだぞみんな。
よし続けろ。ガコロートンの刑じゃ。
Everyone must be on edge, since midterm tests are approaching. It's a terrible idea on their part, but some students start to wave their arms and chant Fujine's nickname.
起きろタイガー。朝だぞ。
先生、起きないとタイガーで。
負けるなタイガー。立ち上がれタイガー。
よーし、起きろ先生。それでこそタイガーだぜ。
タイガー、タイガー、タイガー、タイガー、タイガー、タイガー。
Like a sudden bolt of lightning striking, Fujine stands valiantly as if the fall hardly scratched her.
あれ？みんな何してるの？ダメよ、ホームルーム中に席を立っちゃ。ほらほら、始めるから座りなさい。
Fujine, back to her normal self, stands at the podium. It appears she recalled nothing between the time she jumped into the classroom and the time she woke up.
おい、タイガー覚えてないみたいだぞ。
ラッキー。朝からついてるな俺たち。
いや、ついてるっていうのかな、こういうの。
今誰か先生のことバカにしなかった？
え、してないっすよ。気のせいじゃないっすか。
そっか、ならよし。じゃあ今朝のホームルームを始めるから、みんなおとなしく聞くように。
Fujine casually starts Homeroom. She always goes on digressions between announcements, so it goes slowly.
そういうわけだから、みんなも下校時刻を守るように。門限は6時だから、部活の子たちも長居しちゃダメよ。
6時って言ったらすぐじゃんか。タイガ先生、それって運動系は免除されないの？
されません。それと後藤くん、先生のことは藤村先生って言わなくちゃダメなんだから、次に名前で呼んだら怒るからね。
はーい、以後注意します。
Goto sits back down. He doesn't seem particularly remorseful. Too easy. When Fujine says she gets mad, she gets mad. Doesn't matter if it's with a teacher or a student. And that is as close to a serious warning as she's ever going to give, but Goto doesn't realize it.
それじゃあ今日のホームルームはここまで。みんな3次元目の英語で会おうね。
Fujine waves and leaves. So that was Taiga Fujimura, the teacher of Room 2C. Her nickname, Tiger. That might seem like a joke, but it isn't. She got the nickname because it sounds like her name, Taiga. But Fujine hates it. According to her, it doesn't sound feminine. But she got the nickname because of how she acts, so she kind of had it coming.
授業を始める。日直礼を。
As Fujine exits the room, the first period teacher enters. Because Fujine takes up almost all of the homeroom time, mornings are always like this for our class. And so, another day of classes ends. There are many types of students. Some immerse themselves in club activities, some hurry home, and some hang out in the classroom after class for no particular reason. I don't really fit in any of these categories.
すまない。ちょっといいか、エミヤ。今朝の続きなんだが、今日は時間あるか？
いや、予定はあるといえばあるけど。
It's not as if I don't do anything at all. The biggest reason I quit the Kudo Club in the first place was that I wanted to prioritize my part-time job. It's been 5 years since I started part-time jobs to earn money for living expenses on my own after my old man died. And when you do so many different jobs, there are some requests you just can't say no to. Today is one of them. I was asked to help restock some product for a bar, since they wanted as many strong helping hands as they could get. Though I'm sure I don't have to go help, the bar's likely asking everybody as an excuse to gather some folks and hang out afterwards. There are two options. I should... Oh boy. Alright, chat, are we at a point of no return yet? Yeah, I think it's because, like, we know you're supposed to stay and help the student council, but I have no idea what happens if you just go to your part-time job. Like, let's see, I guess. I feel bad for Issei, but I should probably prioritize my part-time job. I never promised I would go, but since I said I'd try, I should probably keep my word.
悪い、Issei。先約があるんで、今朝の続きはまたにしてくれないか。
先約？ああ、例のアルバイトか。そうか、それは困らせたな。こちらは今日明日で進退が決まるものでもない。俺の頼みなど気にせず、労働に励んでくれ。
すまん。明日の朝一で続きをするから、それでチャラにしてくれ。
ん？そこまで深刻な話でもないと言っただろう。急を要していたものは今朝で片付いた。残った修理品はエミヤの手が空いた時で構わんさ。
そっか。じゃあバイトの休みが取れたら続きをするってことでいいかな。
一切ない。その時はまた頼りにするぞ、エミヤ。
Issei bids me a stiff farewell and leaves the classroom. I shouldn't dawdle. I may not have been given a specific time, but now that I've decided to go to my part-time job, I need to hurry over to the neighboring town. Oh, damn. Bro just made like $300. It's like an unexpected windfall or a stroke of good luck. Copenhagen, where I work today, is like a bar and supermarket that sells liquor all in one, and it takes a lot of people to restock inventory for this place. It's a job that needs at least 5 people, but the more people you have after that makes everyone's lives easier. If the boss is always like... He mentioned it so casually to the part-time workers and seemed to think it was enough. But I'm the only one who showed up. The only people there for inventory were me, the boss, and Neko, his daughter. All hell broke loose. Neko was scolding the boss, yet I was the only fool who came, ready to be sacrificed. The two of them unenthusiastically applauded when I showed up, And then we all decided to organize the storage room as much as possible. And then we somehow finished the inventory in 2 hours.
驚いたな。シロ君はあれかな。ブラウニーか何かかな。
The boss remarks as he eats a brownie cake and surveys the afternoon's work.
違います。力仕事には慣れてるし、ここのバイトも長いし、倉庫のどこに何があるかぐらいは把握してるからです。伊達にガキの頃からここで働かせてもらってません。
あ、そっか。あれ、シロ君ってもう5年だっけ？
そのぐらいですね。親父が亡くなってからすぐに雇ってくれたの親父さんのとこだけだったし。
いやいや、まあ、僕も年を取るわけだ。
The boss stuffs his mouth with rum cake. Next to him, Neko is nursing a bottle of warm sake. The owner has a sweet tooth, while the daughter is the drinker of the family. They sure balance each other out well. And
けど助かったわ。こんだけやってもらって、おだちんがケーキだけっていうのもあれだし。はい、これ僕からの気持ち。
he waves three $10,000 yen bills at me. It's more than I'd get for a week's worth of labor, not 3 hours.
どうも。
I hesitate, but I take whatever I can get. Just as I'm about to leave Copenhagen.
ちょい待ち。エミヤ、今日の話誰から聞いた？
Neko stops me while she curled up in front of a heater resting.
確か古見さんですけど。
学生に自分の仕事を押し付けるんじゃないってのよ、あのバカ。まあそれはいいとして。何？じゃあ今日の棚卸しまた聞きだったのに来たんだ。
まあ暇だったら手伝ってくれって感じで。
古見もバカだけどエミヤンもおバカさん。まあいいけど、君さ、人の頼みを断ったことないでしょ。前に私と父が風邪で寝込んだ時も店番してくれたし。
別にそんなことはないですけど、俺無理な注文は受けませんもん。自分でできることでできる場合だけ引き受けますから。
あん時君も風邪ひいてたんだけどね。まあいいけど、私が何を言いたいかっていうとですね、エミヤンはいいやつでちょっとバカで、そのあたり私は心配なので、今度藤村にちょっとは顔出せやこらと伝えておいてほしいのです。
Neko makes circles with her fingers in the air as she downs her sake. She seems to think I'm a dragonfly or something.
とにかく藤姉に伝言。
そう。じゃあね。あんまし頑張りすぎんなよ、少年。
いつの間にか橋越えてら。
I managed to walk back from the neighboring Shinto to Miyama without realizing. I walk through the still darkened town. It's about 7:30. There should still be people out and about at this hour. There are no signs of anyone around.
そういえば確か。
There was a crime committed in Miyama the other day. A burglar murdered someone, I think. It must be why there's no one around, and why the school curfew has been set to 6 o'clock.
ガス漏れに強盗か。物騒なことになってきたな。
No wonder people are avoiding walking around at night. Hello everybody, how's it going? Thank you for the raid, Fox. How are you guys doing today? We are just basically reading through the Fate route. We are still very early in the route, so you guys are all pretty safe from spoilers. I hired this Bageko to stare at you. Hello everybody, how's it going? Actually, do I have a mod present? Let me see. There we go. I gotcha. What are you guys up to today? It's probably not safe to let Sakura go home on her own anymore. Fujine might be fine, but Sakura's house in the residential area on the other side of town. I guess I should walk her home starting tonight. I can't quite believe what I'm seeing. I must be wrong. I sense a presence on the uphill path I was sure was empty. Whoever it is, they're standing still and look to be peering down at me. Oh god, it's a lolly. Fox got trolled by BB again? I see. Certified BB moment? Gotcha. Well, congratulations. I unconsciously hold my breath. A girl with silvery hair smiles and walks down the path without making a sound. As she passes by, God, that's not ominous at all. What she says makes no sense. Yeah, stream's going great. We covered the Guda Guda event and basically writer Ishtar's new buff as well. I climb up the hill and reach my house. The lights are already on, which means Sakura and Fujine are home. The moment I step into the living room, I smell the delicious aroma of dinner. Sakura and Fujine are both eating at the table. Tonight's meal is chicken stewed in cream sauce, and it's put Fujine in an especially good mood. It's almost like she's a tiger or something. I go to my room. It's a sparse room compared to the storehouse, but it's still decorated enough, considering I don't have any particular hobbies. Though most of them are random things Fujine just left here. After I wash my hands and change, I head back to see my food on the table. Sakura is as humble as ever. Sakura's cooking skills have vastly improved over the past year. My cooking is no match for her Western foods. My Japanese dishes might be a little better. Neither of us is any good at making Chinese dishes. I'm glad to know she's improving, but it's also a little depressing when the pupil surpasses her master. It really is delicious. The longer you cook chicken, the tougher the meat gets. Which is why you need to take the extra step of grilling the chicken to a crisp to seal its juices and flavor. This requires exceptional skill, and it's something the clumsy Fujine would never be able to manage. Fujine, who's been concentrating on her meal until now, pipes up. Ack. She looked to be in good spirits thanks to Sakura's meal, but the moment she sees my face, her mood turns sour.
わざわざホームルームで言わなくてもうちで言えばいいんじゃないの？
ここで言っても聞かないもの。学校でガツンと言った方がシローには効果的なんだもん。先生、それは職権乱用というか公私混同だと思います。それぐらいしないとシローはダメなのよ。いつも人の手伝いばっかりして損してるからさ。たまにはまっすぐ帰ってきてのんびりしててもいいじゃない、バカチン。
バカチンとはなんだよ、バカチンとは。いいじゃないか、誰かの手伝いをしてそれでその人が助かるんなら損なんかしてないぞ。
キリツグさんに似たのかな。シローがそんなんじゃお姉ちゃん心配だよ。
Seeing Fujine eating so heartily makes me wonder what exactly she's worried about.
藤村先生、今の話からすると先輩って昔からそうなんですか？昔からそうなの。なんか困ってる人がいたら自分から手を出しちゃうタイ
Mailman,
プ。
thank you for the follow.
けどおせっかいってわけじゃなくて、シローはね、単におませさんなのだ。
Fujine grins menacingly.
藤ね、余計なこと言ったら怒るぞ。もうさくらもつまんないこと聞くなよな。
I glare at the two. Fujine clicks her tongue in disapproval, but
お話を続けてください。
Sakura presses on like an attentive student.
じゃあ話しちゃおう。これがね、シローは困った人を放っておけない性格なのよ。弱きを助け強きをくじくってやつ。子供の頃の作文なんてね、僕の夢は正義の味方になることですだったんだから。
Quit bringing up the past, Fujine. I can't really jump in though, because it's true. Besides, becoming a hero of justice is still my goal.
わあ、すごい言葉だったんですね、先輩。すごかったよ。年上の男の子にいじめられてる女の子がいたら助けに入ってくれたし、キリツグさんが武将だったから家事だって一生懸命こなしてたし。あの頃は可愛くて純真だったのに、それがどうしてこんなひねくれた子になっちゃったんだろうな。
そりゃ藤姉がいたからだろう。ダメな大人を見てると子供はいろいろ考えるんだよ。悔しかったらちゃんと自分で飯作ってみろ。
Fujine is shocked. I thought she would just lower her head and repent, but
お姉ちゃんは悲しいよ。さくらちゃん、おかわり。
she holds out her rice bowl, asking for a third helping of dinner. We relax after dinner, and it's almost 9 o'clock.
さて、何をしたもんか。
There's still some time before my evening training. I guess I'll... Oh, damn. It's a 3-fer chat. Okay. Walk Sakura home, hang out with Fujini, rest. Yeah, I think we'll walk Sakura home. I haven't thanked Sakura for cooking dinner yet, so I should talk to Sakura.
そうだな。夜も遅いし、家まで送って行ってやらないと。
Sakura just finished cleaning up, and she's in the living room getting ready to go home.
あれ、先輩、お風呂に入ってたんじゃないんですか？
いや、風呂は後回し。さくらを送ってから入る。
送るって私をですか？
なあ、最近物騒だから家まで送る。さくらんち結構遠いだろ。わざわざ来てもらってるんだから、それぐらいはさせてくれ。
Sakura purses her lips awkwardly. Did I say something wrong?
ごめんなさい。気持ちは嬉しいんですけど、先輩は休んでいてください。家までだったら慣れてますし、一人でも大丈夫ですから。
いや、それはそうだろうけど、最近物騒だろ。しばらくは家まで送っていくよ。
兄さんに見つかると先輩にまで迷惑がかかります。
I forgot. Sakura's older brother Shinji doesn't really like Sakura coming over to my place. He can't say much because Sakura says she goes to Fujine's house, but me taking her home might cause problems. I don't care if Shinji accuses me of something I didn't actually do, but I don't want him taking it out on Sakura.
けど途中までならいいだろう。交差点あたりまでならシンジと会うこともないし。
Sakura is uncomfortably silent. Knowing Sakura, she probably couldn't even lie about the fact that I walked her home.
それじゃあ
私が送っていこっか。
An English teacher wearing tiger stripes suddenly pokes her head through the door.
ダメだよ。そんなの本末転倒じゃないか。女の子が夜で歩くから危ないっていうのに、さらに女の子を増やして。
Wait a minute. Calling Fujine a girl may be a bit of a misnomer. There's a region Fujine is the best teacher, or is the teacher in charge of the Kyudo club. She was trained by old man Fujimura in Kendo, and her 5th rank designation makes her deadly, literally and figuratively.
藤根なら大丈夫か。時間が出ても撃退できるだろうし。
できるよ。だからさくらちゃんを送っていくのも問題なし。それでいい？さくらちゃん。はい。藤村先生がよろしいのでしたら。決まりだね。それじゃあ行こっか。私も今日はそろそろ帰ろうかなって思ってたんだ。
Fujine takes Sakura's hand and starts to leave.
ちょっと待った、さくら。
何ですか、先輩。
晩飯うまかったよ。いつも。
ご迷惑でなかったら次も頑張りますね、先輩。
Sakura beams and leaves the living room. I can tell my cheeks are burning red. Honestly, Sakura takes me by surprise a lot lately. It's perplexing. Time sure flies. Not so long ago, she was just my friend's little sister. Now, I find sometimes I can't quite look away from her. I'm so pathetic. I've always thought of Sakura as being like family, but I can't seem to readily accept this change. It's almost like she's trying to seduce you. And that is how my day ends. Just before midnight, Shiro Imiya must perform the daily routine of utilizing Magecraft. I cross my legs, take my position, and regulate my breathing. I try to empty my mind. I ignore everything around me and turn my focus inward. I mutter the familiar incantation, as if putting myself in a spell. No, this is a kind of hypnosis. With no magic crest and no magical knowledge, the incantation I mutter is really just a way to focus myself and change my body. Typically, humans do not have any lines which allow magical energy to pass through their body. To temporarily change my body to create a pseudo-version of the lines, I need enough concentration to unify my entire physical and nervous systems. Magecraft is a battle with yourself. For example, I insert a burning steel rod into my backbone. The steel rod itself is the one and only magic circuit I can prepare for myself. By passing this deep within my body and connecting it to my other nerves, I can finally be a mage. This is not a metaphor. And if you look closely, a series of metal rods which cannot be normally seen or touched pierce my backbone. I'm a magician. Hiritsugu Imiya was a mage. He was a true mage who disciplined himself in a wide variety of mystics, plumbed the deeper secrets of the world and its workings, and even performed miracles. And as a young child, I admired Kiritsugu and begged him to teach me magecraft. But you can't just become a mage. You have to be born with talent and inherit a tremendous amount of knowledge. I obviously never had that inborn talent, and Kiritsugu never imparted any knowledge about magecraft to me. I was told it wasn't necessary for me, something like that. I still don't understand what he meant by that, but it didn't matter to me as a child. I always thought learning magecraft would bring me that much closer to being like Kiritsugu. I was blessed neither with talent, that is, an abundance of magic circuits within me, nor was generations of magecraft knowledge handed down to me. The magecraft Kiritsugu possessed, the magic crest passed down from the Emiya family, can only be passed on to a blood relative. A magic crest, which is proof one is a mage, rejects any not blood related. As an adopted son, I could not receive the Emiya family's crest. Then again, since I honestly don't have any idea what the hell a magic crest even is, it doesn't matter whether I have one or not. It's just a matter of gaining the ability. If I want to be a mage, I just have to learn magecraft that suits the traits that I do have. Magecraft is, taken to its extreme, a skill supposedly meant to release magical energy. You could say that magical energy is a life force. Magical energy is separated into two sources: mana, which comes from the world's atmosphere, and odd, which is created within living creatures. Obviously, mana, which comes from the world itself, is superior to odd. The sheer power of the world's mana is simply not even comparable to the odd one human can create. No matter the form it takes, magecraft utilizing mana will always surpass anything created from an individual's odd. So a powerful mage is one who excels at drawing magical energy from the world. It's a lot like a filtration system. A mage will use their own body's circuits to draw in mana from outside and convert it into something usable. Mages call the circuits they use to accomplish this magic circuits. This is the inborn talent part. The number of magic circuits one has is determined at the moment of birth. Typically, humans have hardly any magic circuits. They're normally quite rare. That's why mages will spend generations trying to ensure their descendants have a body more suitable for magic. Some families even go as far as to practice selective breeding in order to increase the number of magic circuits in their children. And since I was raised in a normal family, I've never had a chance of having much in the way of magic circuits. That left me only one option. According to Kiritsugu, everyone is well suited to one specific form of magecraft. He also said something about drawing out magical energy based on a person's origin, but I never quite understood that part. What I do understand is that even someone like me can use at least one form of magecraft. If I can do that, then maybe I can be like Kiritsugu. And that's why I've only learned this one magecraft. That was 8 years ago. After a lot of thought, Kiritsugu took me on as his disciple, though he never seemed happy about it.
魔術を習うということは常識からかけ離れるということだ。死ぬ時は死ぬ、殺す時は殺す。僕たちの本質は生ではなく死だからね。魔術とは自らを滅ぼす道に他ならない。
I guess I knew no fear as a child. Kiritsugu smiled bitterly, placing a hand atop my head as I nodded enthusiastically.
君に教えるのはそういった争いを呼ぶ類のものだ。だから人前で使ってはいけないし、難しいものだから鍛錬を怠ってもいけない。でもまあ、それは破ったって構わない。一番大事なことはね、魔術は自分のためじゃなくて他人のためだけに使うということだ。そうすればシローは魔術使いではあるけど、
魔術師ではなくなるからね。
Thought he was over. I guess Kiritsugu didn't want me to be a mage, but I didn't care about that. I admired Kiritsugu, not mages. As long as I can be the sort of person who lives to help others, like Kiritsugu on that day of fire and nightmare. I got distracted. I feel the uncomfortable sensation of the iron rod in my backbone moving where it shouldn't. Losing control of my breathing now would be fatal. The pseudo-magic circuits would overwhelm my body and shred it to pieces. And that would be the end of me. Shiro Emiya would simply be a novice who died because he failed at an elementary step. I grit my teeth and try to recover my connection. After pain like walking through a storm of needles, the iron rod finally sinks deep within my body and fuses with me. I've been working on this for a little over an hour. And after all that time, I'm finally able to create one pseudo-circuit. A circuit capable of creating magical energy using my own self. All that's left is to allow the magical energy to flow naturally. Shiro Emiya is no mage. He is just a user of magecraft who can only create magical energy within his body and channel it into objects. And that's why I can only do one thing with this magecraft, which is enhancing objects. It's just strengthening magecraft, where I apprehend an object structure and channel magical energy to temporarily reinforce its abilities. I hold a broken iron pipe. I pass magical energy through it to execute the most basic magecraft, to enhance its durability. Passing magical energy into something other than yourself is like mixing poison. My blood is a far cry from the blood of an iron pipe. Forcing an entirely different sort of blood through an object may well destroy it rather than enhance it. To prevent that from happening, I need to properly understand an object's structure and pass magical energy into it between the small vacant spaces. This may be easy for a skilled mage, but since I have a hard time generating magical energy in the first place, even a task like this is as difficult as shooting an arrow and hitting a target several hundred meters from you. A typical archery target is 28 meters away, so it goes without saying how hard it would be to hit a target at 10 times that distance. My body temperature suddenly plummets. The fiery pillar passing through my backbone disappears, and my lungs seize in desperate need of oxygen. My back arches in an effort to keep me from passing out. The iron pipe is unchanged. The magical energy I passed into it appears to have dispersed. What I'm attempting to do is like adding an extra brushwork to a completed work of art. Adding something extra to a completed object raises the risk of compromising the object's integrity. The paintbrush, hoping to improve, may actually devalue the work instead. Which is why, despite its simplicity, strengthening magecraft is so difficult, and not many mages willingly use it. And it's not that I chose this, but it's really all I can do. It would be much easier if I could make something from shapeless clay, but a substitute that just recreates its form is all show and no substance, which explains all the junk around. Whenever I fail at strengthening magecraft, I try to make substitute objects to practice and calm down on. but they all end up empty. I can visualize the structure of an object easily, and I can recreate something very similar, but it's hollow, and obviously doesn't function at all. I wipe the sweat off my brow. I realize I'm absolutely dripping with sweat. If this is as bad as it got, I should consider myself lucky. But what happened earlier was really bad. Had I taken even a second longer to recover, my internal organs would probably be mush about now.
死にかけた分上達するならまだ見込みがあるんだけどな。
But nothing comes that easily. At the same time, fear of death will stand in the way of improving magecraft. Learning magecraft means courting death at every turn. Even rudimentary, everyday magecraft can spin wildly out of control from a single mistake, ending the caster's life.
魔術師にとって一番初めの覚悟とは死を容認することだ。
Kiritsugu always looked sad whenever he brought that up. Maybe it was his way of saying that he didn't want me getting into any of
誰
this.
かを助けるということは誰かを助けないということ。正義の味方っていうのはとんでもないエゴイストなんだ。か。
Kiritsugu always said that whenever I mentioned wanting to be like him. I still don't know what he meant by that. All I'm certain of is that I want to save people, to be a hero of justice, like Kiritsugu Emiya.
その割にこんな処方がうまくいかないんだもんな。なんでいざって時に雑念が入るんだ。バカ。
It's not enough for me to just grasp at the object structure visually. A skilled mage would be able to focus on the crucial areas and efficiently channel magical energy. My dream is to become a hero of justice. I remember what Fujine mentioned at dinner. I never really thought of that goal as embarrassing or impossible. That Shiro Emiya will succeed Kiritsugu Emiya has already been decided. That's why I've been doing everything I can despite how sorely I lack in experience. I don't know exactly what it means to be a hero of justice, but because I don't know, I've trained myself to the best of my abilities in hopes that I'll be useful to somebody. I haven't taken my eye off that goal these past 5 years, but whenever things go wrong like this, I start to have doubts.
点でわからないよ、親父。一体さ、何
What?
をすれば正義の味方になれるんだ。
I look up at the sky through a window. It's not just about being good for someone out of the blue. Saving someone and being a hero of justice are two different things. I know that. But what do I have to do to differentiate them? I've yet to understand that crucial concept for the past 5 years. Oh boy. Oh boy! Alright, chat. I think that is a perfect timing to stop. It is literally the segue point to a new day, and it is like exactly 11 o'clock. It's 10:59, so I can't think of a better time to end than right here, right now. So again, thank you guys for being here tonight. You guys know I always appreciate you. Tomorrow we have the AnimeNYC panel at for FGO, and that should be at like 5 p.m. East Coast time, so about 2 hours before I normally start stream. However, I'm probably going to be on earlier than that, so you guys can expect me to be on, I don't know, maybe 3 to 4 hours ahead. We'll just have to see. In the interim time, let's go raid Mr. CZ. He's on tonight. And I will be back with you guys tomorrow. We'll also be doing some FGO for that. And I probably, after the AnimeNYC stream, will start doing maybe more Black Myth Wukong. So again, thank you guys for being here for Fate Route Friday. We're going to definitely keep trying to continue this, as obviously I want to catch back up to where we were prior to the remaster releasing. And yeah, again, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys, as always, for being here. Hope you guys have a good weekend if I don't get to see you, and go give Mr. CZ my love. We'll see you guys for the next one. Have a good one.